back, guys. Happy Labor
Hello,
Day.
hello, hello, hello. Gamers versus the system, back again.
I'm Spec,
I'm Cetty.
and here we are, folks. This is episode 6. We're still doing this. We got a winner for our giveaway. We're gonna announce at the end of the show. Uh, I had Seti, how are you? What's going on? Let's try to fill the folks in.
Yeah, I'm all right. Just getting a lot of stressful things from my work these days, trying to scramble and get this stuff together, but it's a good stress. It's the right kind of pressure to keep me honest and keep me going. So a
Pressure
lot of
makes
work to
diamonds.
do
Number one, I gotta
for
say,
sure.
and
For
number two,
sure.
that just means you're getting closer, man. You're just getting closer
I know.
to that mountaintop. You know.
I can feel it. I feel like I'm getting closer to something. I feel like I'm reaching the peak here. So
Oh
it's
yeah,
it's a
the
good kind
air's
of
getting a little
stress.
bit thinner. You know what I mean? It's getting a little colder. You're losing some of your equipment. You're like, oh fuck, I don't have a glove anymore. But you're climbing. You're fucking climbing, or you're gonna fucking die trying, brother. That's what you got to do.
For sure, for sure. So that's where
So,
I'm at. What's new with you, man?
so this is gonna come out on Monday, but so this is a different day, as everyone is probably aware of. But anywho, so I actually just got done taking my little condo unit out to dinner. I took everyone out. There's a couple people that didn't make it, but they were like the problem folks anyways, so
No, Mr.
it's
Big
okay.
Baller over here taking out the whole community and shit.
Well, I only paid for the first round of drinks, and everyone then paid for everything else. So I was just
Oh,
trying, and
all
I
right.
can't eat
Still,
or drink outside anyways, so I kind of didn't have to pay for me, so which was fine. I just wanted to, like I said, I just wanted to bring the community together. So, and it was a good night. We all got to share stories and laugh and get to know each other better. So that was a success to me. So I'm happy
well,
that
that
we got
is
to do that.
awesome. Look at that. More people need to do shit like that. Get out and get to know your neighbors, type of shit.
Yeah, man, I got sick and tired of fucking just hearing the stories of like, oh, when I was a kid, we used to know our neighbors would do this and that, blah blah. It's like, well, that's not. Like, and people are like, oh, it's impossible these days. I'm like, fuck that. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try doing it. I'm gonna try to bring back the whole thing of get to know the people that you, because I mean, like I do know some people in other condo complexes where like they do because like right across the hall or they share they get out with their parking spot or a mailbox or the hell like that, so like they know each other in sort of passing ways like that. But I want to get to know because I don't know, man. I'm just having that weird feeling that something's coming down the pipe, and I feel like the community is what's most important these days. So
Well, that is a
let's
wonderful thing. Pretty
I'm
good,
not tooting
man.
my own horn. I'm an idiot, but like I'm not anything special here. I'm just crazy enough to want to try to get everyone to love each other. So
No, man, it's a
that's
good
where
thing
I'm
to
at.
try. It's a good thing to try. I mean, like I said, we do need to start building those communities. And it got to happen in a lot of different ways, and it seems like you're trying your way, and it seems like it's working. So, thumbs up to you.
We all got to try in
Congratulations.
one way or another, right? So thank you, Cetty. I appreciate that for the support, and thanks to Goose for being our guest last week. That was awesome. We're trying
Yeah,
to
it was
get
pretty
more guests
fun.
on every other week for right now. Yeah, and you're gonna kill one. Oh, found it. All right, I was getting ready to find the D20.
Yo, is it that
Okay.
time already? Time to die?
Well, I mean, I mean, I think I got my news updates out. Do you have any updates or corrections for last week? I can't really think of any
Nothing.
because we just had a good
I don't
time with
know.
Goose. So
Yeah, we really just had a good time chilling and talking. So I didn't really. I don't think I made too many mistakes. I'm sure if anyone cared enough to correct me, they would let me know. So
okay.
yeah, I
So
got
then,
nothing
anywho,
for
yeah,
that.
we're gonna do the first roll then of our community die, the D20, where we got our topics of discussion that are at random because the dice will tell us. So we got. Let me bring up that list right now, actually. Or you got it in front of you?
Of
I always
course,
forget.
go for it, man. Just roll. I got it.
All right, brother. Here we go. First roll. We got a. Oh boy, nat 20. Ooh.
Wow. Okay, look at that. So for 20, we picked what is your best story or your biggest win, the best thing, the good. Like what is it you want to tell the people? What is it you want people to
Uh,
know that is your biggest win or your best story? The time that you just shined. What is it you want to tell about yourself?
Oh God, you're asking a self-hating narcissist to tell a story about. It's fucking like Jesus Christ. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. I feel like the victories are coming in every day now. Like, it's because I'm just trying to give back. I'm trying to be better than I was the day before. And I feel like that's coming through. So I mean, I guess I could. I got a few funny stories where you know, I was able to make something happen. I guess. All right. So one thing that just comes to the top of my head. I don't know if it's going to be the best because I think I talked about going on the road trip before. That was really cool. I got to talk about a few other cool things here and there. Um, but for right now, the only thing I really think of is like when like I said, this was literally like rolling a nat 20 in D&D on like a death save or something like that. Where you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna fuck this up, but then just complete out of the blue. So it was. I remember it was my freshman year of college, and I was taking a weekend class, a Saturday morning class, because I was an idiot. But it was mostly because I had Tuesday, Thursday off, so I did like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. So I did that, so I could
Hmm.
get those 2 days during the week to work or whatever. So I remember it was a communications class, and we were doing speeches that day. And me not being a very good student, there was like a meme that you see out there where it's like, to all my friends who out there who just stuffed their papers in their book bag without the folder, how you doing now? And they say, not good, bro. Like I sympathize with those people.
Oh
Um,
well.
I was one of them types of kids, and I just remember I had so let's be honest, I had two Saturday morning classes because it was psychology at 8. Yeah, I was an idiot. At 8 a.m. Psychology class, and then the communication was at I think 11 or whatever the hell. I forgot how it went, but so anywho, it was I heard about it that I had to do a speech and give, and I was like, oh no, what the fuck? I had no
A
idea. I was like,
speech.
okay. Yeah, we had to, yeah, communication. So we had to learn how to, present a topic and talk to the class about present our ideas and all that jazz. And I was like, I had
I did
nothing.
love speech class. I loved it. So much
Well,
fun.
I mean, I didn't mind it either, but this is just a day that I dropped the ball. There was no
Okay.
hope, it seemed like. And I was like, oh shit, I'm fucked. I'm fucked for this. But then I thought deep down, I was like, what the fuck do I have? Like, I'm not gonna go up to her and be like, I gotta take an L on this one, teach. Like, I'm not doing that. I was like, all right, what do I got? What I got? I got to really pull something out of my ass here. And I was like, all right, I got my golf clubs in the car. So I was like, all right. And I just fucking took out a piece of loose leaf paper and just started jotting down some words and shit like that. And I just made a last minute bullshit presentation on golf. And then, because it was supposed to be, I think, like a presentation about like an informative one to teach some sort of thing. So I was
Right.
teaching about golf, essentially. And I remember since it was a Saturday and no one was really there, I was like, all right, so we're gonna go outside if it's okay with the professor. If it's okay, we can go outside and I'm gonna tee one off into the fucking lake that we have.
Oh
And
wow.
so yeah, we all got to do that, and we all got to go outside. I got to drive a ball right into the fucking lake, and yeah, and then I got an A- on the report.
Look at that. That is a win. Shit. Like
That was yeah, had
that's pretty
nothing
cool.
but bullshit, and I got an A- out of it. So
Yo, how
I
cool
think
is that?
if we come up with more stories, if that, because I want to keep the 1 and 20 like the same. So if we get a nat 20 again, I'll probably come up with a better story than that. Then I'll try to remember one. But for right now, that's the one that came to mind
No,
for
that's a
me.
good one, bro. I mean, but I gotta say though, you say it was bullshit, but I mean, I'm sure at the time it felt that way, but that was your knowledge there. Shouldn't sell yourself short. I mean, you have that knowledge. You were a knowledgeable person, and you were able to show that knowledge, and that's basically what speech is, and that's can be applied also to a lot of things. Just sharing your knowledge is useful, and I think you deserved the grade, man. I'm not gonna say you didn't deserve it. Sounds like you did something good.
I definitely turned a bad into a good at that moment for sure. It
Nice,
was a blessing
very
for me.
nice.
Now, what about you,
Way to turn
boss?
it around.
Right? That's
Oh
what we're all about
man.
here, folks. We're all about turning it around. We're turning this ship around. Let's do it.
I don't know. I think I'll just go with my recent win um, of winning $250 from a small, I mean, I guess I'm kind of having to shout them out now. There is a website called sky'sthelimit.org. Big shout out to them. Big shout out to Lauren. You know, starting on this business journey, trying to be an entrepreneur, trying to get out there. I was able to pick up one of their micro grants that they give out to people who are, you know, participating in their curriculum and going to their webinars and, you know, meeting with people on the platform and trying to, you know, bring about a better community of entrepreneurs and volunteer CEOs and things like that who want to, you know, help you step into the business world. So, yeah, that was a really nice victory for me. I think it was the first time because, you know, I've been, God, writing all these proposals and all these PowerPoint presentations and going to all these meetings and doing all this shit, you know, trying to get my ideas out there. And this is the first time that it's actually paid me back something, you know, besides the good feeling of
Right.
trying to do something good and putting something into the world and being creative, you know, challenging yourself
This
type
is
of
kind
shit.
of
But
like your first well, not so much revenue, but like this is like your first like payment almost sort of
yeah,
for
like
like your idea.
someone recognized and they're like, here, you know, use this to further your business. Like, and that's the kind of reciprocation that I'm looking for is like, yes, help me, motherfucker, help me. So like, so yes, this is like the first validation, you know, official from someone
That's what I
else.
was talking. That's the word, validation. That's the
Oh
word I was
yeah,
looking for.
oh yeah,
This is like their first time you got it back. Like, hey, you're doing it, and you're like, oh my god, I'm doing it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's cool.
exactly. Like it
That's
felt
great, man.
great. It was good. I mean, and so if any of you out there are looking for a community to join, I mean, they are not sponsoring this podcast. This is just something I'm doing personally on, you know, because they have helped me. So yeah, if you're starting a business and you're looking for people to support you, Sky's the Limit is out there. Plug, plug, plug. I mean, there's
Shameless,
nothing else.
folks. We're
It
shameless.
really is
That's how it
shameless, but
goes. That's how it
yeah,
goes.
that's what I'm
We're
going through, and that was a recent one for me. So
okay. Hey, man, that's great. I remember you said a little bit about this before on a podcast, but you know people
did
probably
I?
forgot. But
Ah, shit.
you know how internet culture is. It came out a couple weeks ago. They forgot it already existed, so don't worry about it, man. Like
Shit, I'm
I'm
sorry
proud of
if
you
I'm
still.
repeating myself.
It's
Sorry
fine,
if I'm
man. I'm
repeating
proud of you.
myself. Thanks, man. Yeah,
Okay,
it's
that
it's
was a win.
for sure it was a big win for me. I think because now I get to say to people like, "Hey, they believed in it enough to actually, you know, give me something." So I can kind of toot my own horn in that way. So yeah, it was definitely a win.
All right,
So
man.
yeah,
That's good. All
pretty
right, so
cool.
that's out of the way, folks. We got our. You got to hear us stop fucking jerking each other off, so now we can. So now we can get
Oh
back
man.
to that one game where we talk about the one game that we're talking about this week that changed our well not changed our but yeah, I guess changed our lives. We're just something that was a good memory that we associate with.
Gaming changes your life, okay? Like once you find a game that you're all about, it can change your life. I mean, not just video
This is
games. You
true.
know, we talk about all kinds of games. I mean, look at our culture. Like people get around basketball and football, and you're talking about golf. Like that's a sport. These things do
If you could
change your
call it
life.
that.
There's points you can win. There's rules. It's a game.
Well, I mean, how I play golf isn't really
Oh
how I
Lord.
consider it a sport.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
Golf with me
Like,
is sitting in the cart, crack open a cold one with your boys, and just shooting the shit while you drunkenly swing your sticks to try to get the ball somewhat close to the hole. So, like,
I mean, that sounds like a
it,
lot more fun than some PGA Tour bullshit. But I mean, hey,
I will say though, there's a big community that's like, well, I don't know about big, but there's a community out there that I follow that's like they're trying to bring the bros to golf. So like they'll
wow.
do this whole thing where they like hang out with like golf greats like John yeah, John Daly, and they'll talk shit in people's backswings, and like they'll go to the press conference after and just ask the most ridiculous questions, and they'll just like cheer folks on like on the fairway with the most ridiculous fucking shit. So it's like I am enjoying how they're bringing some fun to golf and I feel like some
Trying
golfers
to
have been doing that too. You know,
trying to
shout
bring
out to
dude
the
bro culture to golf. That's hilarious.
yeah, because it's been too serious. I couldn't watch that shit. Like I fucking fall asleep watching golf, but yeah, bring me out there, and I'm a dude, bro, playing golf, so like I get it and I love it. So
Mm, all right. I
You
feel
know.
you.
So, yeah,
All
no.
right, so that one
You want
game.
me to go? Do you got a game? What do we got?
Um, I do have a game. I
Okay.
do have a game. My game for this week is The Division 2.
Oh, okay.
So, The Division 2, I recently got back into it because they were back to making updates for it.
Wait, they're
And,
back? What, they have a break or something?
there was about a year hiatus of content where they had just been recycling the content, but now apparently Ubisoft is like, hey, here's some money, make some more content, see if you can get more people back into this game. And that is coming down the pipeline here. They actually released Showdown, I believe it's called, where you have to, I don't know, go in with 8 people, and it's like an 8-person cooperative mode where 2 teams are running through this nuclear power plant to try to disable these bombs and shit. And like it's they're adding to it. They're back to adding shit to the game. So
Sounds to me like Valhalla ain't doing too good, so they're like pumping the division. You know.
I mean that's fair, but Ubisoft got a shit ton of games, so I'm sure they're
Right.
not
But
hurting
hey,
for
man, like
cash anymore.
fucking. Remember with Division One, they had nothing, and then they had that giant 2018 big fucking. We're gonna redo the whole thing, and then I got back in it. I fucking platinumed it after that. Like fucking, that
Yeah.
was my first platinum in a game ever.
Oh really?
Was Division One, and I did it by
Wow.
accident.
By accident? Oh wow.
Completely by accident, bro.
Yeah,
Completely
dude.
by accident.
Division 1 is a good game. I will never say that it's not. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. I think the only reason I went with 2 is because I enjoy the challenge, and that is a hard fucking game. That is a game that will kick your ass 10 times over. I mean, they will hurt you in that game, man. The AI is so much fun to go against. Those are some
Well,
of the
yeah,
best
you got the
gunfights.
giant robot dogs and stuff
Oh
that
yeah,
are just terrors in itself. It's like if you gave Mabel a
dude.
fucking 50 cal on her back, I'd be fucking pissed scared.
I think out of all the games I've played, the Division 2 has like the absolute best gunfights that I've ever had in any game. That includes, Halo, Destiny. I don't give a fuck. Like Division 2 it's sweaty. It is sweaty, and they will outnumber you. They will flank you hard. They will try to fuck your
Sweaty, and
shit up.
they dropped the time to kill. I would say that was a big thing. They definitely
Yeah,
because
man.
my whole thing. I just remember Division One like unloading onto a fucking dude, all like 50
Yeah,
headshots with a shotgun, and the guy's just like, "Huh, fuck you," or
yeah.
whatever. I'm like, "Come on, what is this?" Like, I don't
People
know,
complained a
but
lot about the bullet sponginess. They really did.
right,
And
that's why like you really had to get those striker builds or the predator builds. Oh my god, I remember I'm a fully straight male, but I would have sucked a dick if they would drop me a predator fucking knee pad that I needed a classified predator. That was like the last thing I needed for the pred build. And I don't think I completed a nomad build, but striker, predator, reclaimer was the first one I did because I'm all about support class, baby. Like reclaimer, I made sure to get my box the best. Had the 9K electronics. Oh my god! But yeah, I'm sorry, I'm getting off into D1. We're talking about D2
no,
here, but
dude.
D2.
No. D1 and 2, they have a very close relationship, and there's some things in D1 that they didn't bring over to D2. So I think both games are still valid. It's just, something about Division 2 is, I don't know. Just I like there's more customization. I think the build diversity is a
Yeah,
little bit
for
more
sure.
interesting, and I mean, I think it's one of those games where like they bring in like the looting, like the loot hoarder aspect from Diablo, and like the third person shooting of like a Gears of War or something like that, and just mesh them so well together with solid AI, good visuals, and it just turns that world into something that just keep coming back to over and over again. I fucking love it, man. I do. So yeah, that is that one game for me this week. I mean, I have been pounding the pavement out there, shooting at armored enemies and
Well,
going
shit,
through
bro.
some
I still
missions.
got Division 2 downloaded. Fucking let me know when you're hopping on. We'll do that.
For sure. We can try it out.
Hell yeah.
So
I
what
mean,
about you,
I'm
sir?
definitely nowhere near equipped that I used to be. For me, I was thinking about one game, but it kind of branched off into like kind of 4 games. I don't
Four?
know. I don't want to cheat
Those
here.
4 games, yo, yo.
Well, no. It all started with one game, but like there became
Okay.
a genre based off of it. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to talk about.
Hmm.
Because like, we talked about Division 2, and they kind of go into Division 1. But so,
Sure.
do you remember PlayStation? I don't know why I'm only picking nostalgia games right now, but once I get more popular, I guess I'll start talking about more relevant games. But for right now though, like Baldur's Gate, Dark Alliance.
Oh my god.
Do you remember that game?
Dude, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. Holy shit.
And then Dark Alliance 2, and then Champions of Norath, and then Champions of like that's so like the kind of like the same type of like fantasy medieval
Right.
RPG esque
Yeah,
loot
yeah.
dungeon crawling loot grinding fucking like those
Dude.
games like
And they were cooperative too. That was another thing that made them fucking
yes
awesome.
yes you get to and the fucking cheating I would do, oh my god, to duplicate those fucking items. Oh my
That's
god.
funny.
Had two controllers, fucking drop this, drop that, fucking disconnect, the fuck. Like, yeah, I did some fucked up shit. But anywho, yeah, I those games to me, I just thought back. They just not just. I remember my buddy, shout out to my buddy Dave. He downloaded Dark Alliance for the PS4. They did a remaster.
Uh,
They did a remaster.
uh, oh god. Wait, the remastered version? Or are you talking about the new Dark Alliance that they came out with?
No, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. They did like a port. It's the
Oh
PlayStation 2
wow.
game, but you could play on the PS4. And we got
Oh
to play for a
shit.
little bit, and I was like, "Oh my god, it brought back so many memories."
Dude, I'm gonna have to pick that shit up because yeah, those games, man. Holy crap. I don't even know what
Yeah,
it was. I don't even really know what was so special about them. It was something about the combat that kept it
because it
interesting.
wasn't turn-based anymore. It wasn't that like, and I know what's it Dark because they had Baldur's Gate for the PC, and I never played those games. Sorry, everyone, I'm not part of that master race, but I started with Dark Alliance, and it was you got to move your character around, and it wasn't like Final Fantasy where you gotta take your wait for your turn and then go attack and this and that. It was like no. There's the guys I'm swinging and I'm hitting all of them. You know what I mean? It was that like I don't know. It
But
just
there was
felt
something
more
about the combat that kept it compelling. Because I think about Diablo, which is in a similar vein, but the combat
yes.
is more automatic in my mind. Like things kind of just happen in Diablo, whereas I feel like in Dark Alliance you had a higher level of control over engaging individual enemies and like the abilities that you used. Or I don't know if it's because it was more grounded in reality, or I mean of course there's magic and shit in the game too, but I don't know, there's just something about finding a +1 bastard sword that was just like yes it's mine,
Yeah,
motherfucker. Like when you found
and
a
that like just
keen
relates to
blade.
D&D. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
oh
well
my
that was
god. But
D&D. That was isn't Baldur's Gate D&D?
it's like yeah, it's definitely it's a Wizards of the Coast property for sure. I don't
Yeah.
think it was. I think it's a one of the worlds that you could have played in, but because I know Drizzt at the end came in as like when you beat the game, you got to play as Drizzt, and he's really big in the whole D&D fucking universe.
Yeah, I'm pretty
So
sure that was like
he's like
part of
some
it, but
mythical dark elf god.
I don't know,
But
man. I
just
don't.
from
They
what I
don't make
remember,
games like that anymore. They really don't. I think I've tried. Path of Exile is another you know,
yep, that's another one. They're
but
really technical though, because I looked at those skill trees
yeah,
and I was like, holy mother
yeah.
of fucking.
There's a lot going on there. I don't know what kept Baldur's Gate so compelling, but it really was. It really was one of those games that you could just sit down and play for hours, working out different builds, trying out different gear, weapons, and just going to all these different places. The enemy variety was really cool. The graphics were really good. And it just had a compelling, and even after you beat the game and go through it on a harder difficulty, like they just kept you coming back for more. Like it really was
Hmm.
one of those
Every time.
games that was just like, man, you'll never get sick of this shit. Like it's like this is hard to get sick of. Like,
And you
yeah.
only had three classes of characters in the beginning. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
you really and then when they did two, you got more. They gave you a little bit more different roles that were different, or well, at least different than the traditional archetype, kind of like what they did with Borderlands when the first cast character, then the next cast came out. They were all a little bit different too. But And like I said,
It's
then
the loot,
Champions of
man.
Norath came out, which was all about, you got you really different. They didn't have like the presets or whatever. They didn't have like the story based things. You could kind of just make whoever the fuck you wanted for those games. But the same basic concept though for Champions of North, where it's like you go to these worlds, you defeat you clear through these bosses, and and you got good shit out of it. I want to
It's the
kind of
loot, man.
say, okay, yeah, loot.
No, what were you gonna say?
Like I say, I'm putting a lot of, I don't know. This is completely wrong, and you can correct me. Because I probably am wrong, but like I don't know, man. Like just something about like those kind of games reminds me a little bit like if Dark Souls had like a different kind of loot structure. You know what I mean? Like,
I wish I would be playing Dark Souls right now if it had loot like that, but it don't. I mean, yeah, there's
but that's
items
what
you
it
can
felt
pick up
like
and
back
different
in the
builds you
day
can
to
make.
me. To me, that felt like my Dark
Oh,
Souls, having to go through and you get different worlds, and sometimes there was a story involved, but you really were just trying to get your character. You gotta get good because you were facing whole hordes of fucking guys. You know what I mean? Like it was, it was different. It was in its own way, challenging in its own way too. And then you got to do a different bunch of
it
things. But
was.
yeah, for me, you got to kind of make it a little bit like a Dark Souls experience.
And Champions of Norath is fucking amazing though. Like I hope everyone has played that game because it is just phenomenal.
I played
It really
both.
is a great. It is a great game. Oh man, that's wild, dude. I haven't thought about those games in so fucking long. Like,
You are
but now that you
welcome.
tell me,
You are totally
now that
fucking
you tell me
welcome.
there's a PS4 remake, I don't know. I'm gonna have to scrounge some fucking cash together and try to check that one out
Hey man, I'll get it for us. That's fine.
because that would be fun to play. Ah man, the memories on that shit. I would love it.
I'll get it. I'll buy it, and then we could fucking game share it.
Yeah, sounds fun. Sounds good.
Because I
All right,
remember
man. That
Dave,
was that
like I said,
one
Dave
game.
got it. So yeah, or series of games, I guess.
No, I mean Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. That's the start of it. That's
Yeah, for me, and for you too. We did
for sure.
good fucking times to those.
For sure.
So I actually I don't know if you heard the beep on the PlayStation, but I just turned it on because I'm looking up Baldur's Gate.
Are you supposed to look it up right now? Jesus.
I just want to
Man,
see if it's still up there.
I hope so. Because those are fun, man. Holy shit. All right, man.
Okay, we're
Why don't we?
moving on
While
to our
you look
next
for
roll,
that,
right?
let's look for a roll while you look for that.
Copy that. We got 18.
Oh wow,
High numbers,
18.
really high numbers. This is good.
Yeah,
There it
we're
is.
going
I
high
found it.
today. 18 is, in your estimation, what is the next big thing? Now, this could be, this is a wild topic, I already know, but what do you think is going to happen in the future, man? What's the next big thing coming on the horizon? What do you feel is the next big cultural thing, or the big money making thing, or the big technology, or the next big movie, the next big anything? What do you think that's going to be? The next big thing that's going to take over all of our fucking lives? What do you think?
Oh Lord. Uh, I. It's hard to say at this point in time because we got a lot of shit right now. Like we got a lot
We
of
do.
stuff and a lot of stuff that used to be like science fictiony when I was growing up is now a reality. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like we got a lot of. I mean, without getting too graphic, I guess I don't know because when I'm thinking of that, I forgot. I think it was like was it Tropic Thunder? Where they were like anything that's big in porn first, then it gets adopted to the video or it gets adopted to the other
I
sorts of
like where
media
this
for
is
now.
going. Let tell me
No,
more. What is
no,
this?
no. I didn't
No,
want to.
I
I
want to
didn't want to
hear.
get into that.
Why
That was
not?
just
I
that
mean,
was
what
the
you
whole
mean?
pitch. No, I honestly like in terms of the next big thing coming out. Like just thinking about. I mean, I'm hoping I don't steal what you're about to say, but I'm just thinking about your concept, man. I'm thinking about how
Mm.
like we're seeing how these NFTs and and the crypto thing and how we could all point and laugh and be like those stupid fucking whatever the fuck things, but like I mean you see it and when it's used the right way it could really make a goddamn difference in a sort of way, but I
Mm.
guess like
So
it's
you
it's
think?
too soon to tell right now for You know what I mean?
But you're
Like I just
leaning
can't believe.
towards this new blockchain shit. That's what you're saying. Blockchain
Yeah, it's
currency,
to
blockchain art.
finally make the fact that all right, I bought this. This is technically now my property. Versus like
Hmm.
I bought this, which is just giving me the rights to use the property. You know what I mean? Like anything we buy on PlayStation, like unless like, you buy the disc, which I thankfully I do have some disc of my games. But like for the most part, like I've just been downloading shit because I'm a lazy fucker. So it's like, do
Right.
I truly own those? Because I can't just like if I lose my login information, like it's sorry I don't own those games, but that account
Yeah.
owns those games. You know what I mean? So like, what
And they
at
are
what point?
deleting shit too. I mean, remember they deleted like the old versions of San Andreas for the remastered versions on
Right,
Steam. Like
they pulled PT off the store. Remember, they did that
yeah,
shit in the beginning.
there's a
Cyberpunk got
lot
pulled off the
of
shelf and got re-put on there. So
yeah, there's a lot of fuckery going on with ownership of digital shit, and I think
a lot of fuckery.
yeah, and
Cetty, they put Dark Alliance 1 and 2 up on here. I'm so sorry to cut you off, but that, I did not
sorry,
expect
folks.
that.
Spec is distracted right now by games, which is fine because this is gamers versus the system. But
I mean, if anything, this is
no,
gonna get me
it's cool,
back
bro.
into gaming. Holy Jesus! Sorry, I'm back. I'm back. I'm good to go. I'm sorry, I'm back in it.
No, you're fine.
I was trying to scroll out of what I was looking at, but then it showed me 2, and I was like, "Ah!" So sorry, I'm back in it.
That's funny.
We're on the game.
No, you're good,
NFTs,
man.
blockchain stuff. What do we actually own? Property, like I feel like that's because you see it now. Like what companies are buying digital space in the meta or whatever the fuck. Like I'm not that
Yes,
familiar with that whole process, but I mean, like, is it? Are we really on our way to some weird fucking Blade Runner type fucking bullshit? Or like, oh my god, bro, do you remember PlayStation Home
I do. I do
for
remember that.
PS3? Like, oh my god, I'm just even thinking of shit like that, where it's like, I owned a fucking piece of shit little rinky dink apartment or whatever the fuck like that, and I went to like I had like a little chessboard that I was able to play, and and I was like, what the fuck is this? Like it's literally like, and there was a mall a digital mall you could bring your character to, and I was like, there's no combat, there's no this, we're all just kind of existing in this digital space. What the fuck?
Yeah,
But it was,
that was
I
a
guess it was
metaverse.
huge.
PlayStation Home was a metaverse. It's just that that word hasn't really been coined at that point, but it definitely was a metaverse. Yeah.
That's what I thought of as soon as I heard they're doing shit. Like, I was like, oh, so PlayStation Home. I was like, that's the first thing I thought of. I was like, what the fuck? Like, that's so weird.
Yeah, that's pretty close, pretty accurate. Yeah. No, I think you might be right about that. I really hope it's true because that's what I'm trying to get into. That's what I'm pushing for. So yeah, I would love to see more people getting into this kind of tokenization and owning their. Because look, here's how I look at it: time is money. Okay, that is just a
Right.
fact. When you go to work, they compensate you with money. When you play games, even for fun, or when you're spending time on these platforms, these online platforms, you're spending time. Now, look, in their mind, they're like, well, you owe us because we're entertaining you. And it's like, I don't know. I'm spending a lot of time here, and that's creating a community that's worth being involved in. So maybe compensate me with what I earn in the game should be mine. I should own it. So yeah, I'm trying to get into that space and make that a reality for all of us. So yeah, I'm agreeing with you on this one. I think the
Well, I just
blockchain
didn't want
shit
to steal.
is
I didn't want to steal your story if you were going to talk about that, because I don't know. You impassioned me so much when you were trying to bring this idea to my head, and I
right.
was like, oh my god, this is it. I don't know, but I'm
Yeah.
dumb, so I have no idea.
No,
if
I think you might be right about that, my dude. As far as my next big thing, um, damn, I think it's gonna have to be sex dolls. I really do think.
all right, now he's going with it. Now he's
Nah, man.
piggybacking off what I mentioned in the beginning. Oh, gee.
You
Okay.
know
Okay.
what?
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. They
I
have the
think.
AI now, right? They have that. They have like that human looking weird fucking uncanny valley fucking
Hmm.
like robot simulator that's just talking
Hmm.
shit right now or whatever the fuck.
Yep. As soon as we put Siri in a sex doll, it's all over, guys. Like that's it. The
Oh,
human race
Jesus.
is fucked.
There was a
but
whole
I
episode of Futurama about that, I feel like. right?
Was there?
I think
I
it
don't know.
was.
It's pretty funny if it was. I'm gonna have to check that out. I didn't see that one though.
I'm pretty sure there was a whole episode of Futurama about how sex bots were taking over the world.
Yo, it's something that could easily happen. I mean, the look, it only takes one working prototype, okay? Like once that thing gets made and you see someone fucking it, you're gonna want one. And every woman in the world is gonna be very, very upset. I think they're not gonna be happy about it.
Yeah,
But
because men are gross.
we're
We are
disgusting.
gross.
Wouldn't you?
We are
Look, we're
gross.
horrible
Yep.
when it comes
Yeah,
to
we
sexual
are.
shit. Yeah, we're pretty bad. So wouldn't you rather us do it to a robot than you? I mean, that could save you so much time, energy, embarrassment. I mean,
But then it's gonna be because if it is artificially, that means it's going to be hooked up to some server, which means that all that shit that you're
sure,
doing is just getting downloaded right into that fucking server. How many
good.
pumps you last? How many? That's gonna keep your stats. Like, oh
I don't
god, like
care.
I don't know if I want that. I don't know if I want to see my
What you mean?
sexual
I
stats.
want to see rankings. I want to see who lasts the longest. I want to. I want to be high fiving bros as I walk by, just like, yo, you too. Just yes.
Oh god. Oh Jesus. So wait, Cetty, are you talking like because I know I actually saw a really weird fucking documentary about people who have like those real dolls and
Mm-hmm.
how they'll dress them up and they'll sit and they'll have, of
Sure.
course not in public, but they'll they'll have a nice dinner with them and then they'll just go and just bring them
Right.
the worst
Just
dicking down.
absolutely rape the shit out of a doll. Yeah, we already
Yeah,
know what's going
and
on.
so are you talking about it's the same concept but they could talk back, or like you talking like they could move, they could walk, they could do stuff, chores around the house, they could like
um,
what? How
I
far are
think
you? Like you said, is it just Siri and a real doll, or is it like a literal moving, functioning, operating thing, like
we got to get
iRobot
there.
status?
It's gonna be incremental, but I think the next step, you know what I'm saying, the next big thing is gonna be the sex bot. Like we got the sex doll, but then the sex bot is gonna come where it can move its arms and legs, and it can you push it over and it doesn't fall down type of shit. Like it's gonna be some fucking Boston Dynamics with titties type shit. Like it's gonna be fucking wild, dude. Like,
Siri, choke me. Too much, too much. Like, oh god, I don't know if I like that. I'm not liking this ideology behind this. I'm not comfortable with this whole
nah,
thing.
man, it's coming. I'm telling you. Like you might be coming pretty soon. You never know. Like it's someone's gonna knock on your door and it's gonna be a robot. Like, yo, you ready?
I think you gotta watch that episode of Futurama to see the horrors that I saw. Maybe that's.
The
I gotta
horrors.
find it. I gotta find
I
it.
don't know. I don't think it's a bad thing. Me, I think it's a great thing. I think it's a really good thing. I think it's gonna change things. I think it's gonna make things easier for some guys. There's a lot of incels out there, my dude. There's a lot of people that are getting passed up that can't afford to, get out there into the sexual marketplace. They're kind of checking out. They're kind of frustrated, and I think this is gonna be good for them. I really do. Like the doll thing, I'm not really about the doll thing, but the bot thing, I don't know. Like I kind of want to see it. I'm looking forward to it, and I think that's gonna be the next big thing.
Okay, so with that being said, I think we
I mean,
could.
come on.
I mean, like I said, just like that whole thing in the beginning where that guy was talking about, like when it's big in the porn industry, then it's gonna get big in the, in other aspects of life. So I guess yeah, maybe we'll start seeing some weird shit on the hub, and that's gonna be like, oh, everyone now I gotta try one or whatever the fuck. Who knows? Who knows? Who
Trust
knows what's
me.
gonna happen?
When the first one breaks, we're all gonna be like, "Holy shit!"
But it's gonna
It's
be like $5,000 or something. It'll be an outlandish price. At least I
cars
think,
cost
right?
like $30,000. I mean, look,
I know,
I
but
don't
like,
know. How much did you pay for a lifetime of free sex? Like Just imagine never having to take some broad out to a fucking dinner, free food to get laid ever again. Like, how much would you
But
pay for
that's
that?
I don't know, man. I'm kind of done in that phase of life. Not to sound
Mm.
holier than fucking thou, but like I don't know. I did my fair share, but for right now, I kind of just I'm not in it for the shallow experience anymore. Like, yeah, sex is great, but just but if that's all it is, I don't know if I'm sounding like a fucking soy boy, whatever the fuck you want to say. Oh, look, Spec's got emotions. Oh, what a pussy. But like, no, like I don't know, man. I'm kind of done just fucking for fucking sake, you know. Like I kind of want to have a if I'm gonna take like if I'm gonna go through this whole process because I one I love you and two there's we're gonna build something together and three I don't know like I'm done just getting my dick wet just for the sake of stats or whatever the fuck I just want to have some meaning behind
I'm
it.
not done. All right, so like,
Oh,
let's move on to the next. What is this? What are we doing? The story now? Is that what's happening
I
here?
thought you said you weren't done. I was like, oh, he's gonna keep going with this. Oh, Jesus.
No, I mean like I'm not done with trying to make that
Oh, you're
happen.
not. Oh, okay, got it. Well,
Yeah.
good for you, brother. You got that. Maybe I am losing testosterone. I gotta start doing some more push-ups, maybe some more fucking pull-ups or whatever.
Oh, God. That's funny. The next big thing. NFTs and robot sex. That'll be the future, boy. We are moving towards some Blade Runner shit, I guess.
Yeah, right. That's scary. That's a scary thought.
that's, that's awesome. I'm here for it. I'm ready.
Okay, that's that. Do you want to take this? Because mine's more of a serious topic. I don't know if we're gonna bridge this seriousness with the comedy that just ensued, but
Well, what for my one story this
yeah,
week? My one story, man, is kind of. I mean, it's a little serious. I think it's something that happened recently. Something I was paying attention to. Um, I'm sure you heard about it. This is the student loans getting people getting $20,000 off of their student loan debt. Some people getting
right.
their student loans paid off. Have you heard of this?
Yes, that's been going on.
Yeah. What do you think?
Uh, Nothing of it right now.
Not a damn
I
thing.
I haven't been paying attention to it, and like I said, like I don't have the intelligence right now to make a critique on should we is it good for the economy for forget the thing. Like, I think that in a way, like yeah, like but I don't know. Are there people that already paid off their student loans? Are they getting compensated for it with the tax break? Like how's that working out for? Or is it the people who are currently in debt? So I don't know how that how that works. I
Yeah, it
was
was the
lucky enough
people.
to say that I went to I had a blessed life and I didn't have any college debt. So I don't think I have a fair like input on this because I didn't have that struggle. So it's like me talking about what it's like giving birth. I have no fucking idea. You know what I mean? Like I don't have
Right.
that input that I could put from my perspective because, like I said, I was very privileged and very blessed to have a family that was like, nope, we're paying for your college. I'm like, oh, thank you. Like, okay, like I appreciate that. Well, I didn't at the
Oh yeah,
time
that
because I
is
was a piece
good.
of shit. But now, like like I could see, like definitely should have fucking paid more attention. But I mean, I guess this is I wouldn't have ended up here. So I guess thank you and I'm sorry again for helping my
Thank you. I'm
family.
sorry.
Thank you and I'm sorry.
Uh,
Because
that's
I've
funny.
fucking majored in history, and now I wipe ass and have a podcast. So I mean, is that like I made the best out of my
Well,
situation, but I didn't have any debt, and I don't have any. Like I said, I don't have any fair opinion to put into because I don't know how it works. I'm dumb in that regard. Like I don't have that thing. So explain it to me more. So yeah, they forgive up to what was it like $10,000 or right that or 20 or what was it?
it was $10,000 if you didn't need a Pell Grant, which is the government grants that they give you. And
I
if you
remember
did
that.
take out Pell Grants, then it's $20,000. So they're trying to hit a certain income bracket. And if you make $125,000 a year or more, you don't get shit. This is specifically targeting people who are low income and are just sitting with this debt over their fucking heads. can't pay it back or won't pay it back, and they're just like, "Fuck it, just here's $20,000." Now, here's
Was it
here's a little
cash or
contra.
was it forgiveness?
It was forgiveness. No, they didn't cut nobody a check. They just,
I was gonna
it was
say,
just
like, I don't.
they just put a fucking minus sign in a bank account somewhere. It's a balance sheet thing. They didn't fucking give anybody any money.
Right.
Come on, money isn't even real to begin with. Don't let the look. We ain't gonna go there, okay? Like, but yeah, they cut down your obligation to buy $20,000. Now, look, here's a story, kids. I'm currently $50,000 in debt for my student loans. Okay, that's a lot of fucking money.
Yes, it is.
Joe Biden gave me $20,000. So basically, I'm in a 50-foot hole, and Joe Biden threw down 20 feet of
20
rope.
foot ladder. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, thanks, thanks, I guess, thanks for that. Okay. So yeah, that's my situation. I went to school for game design. I went to a shitty college that you see on TV talking about come to our school, and
Hey
I
man,
was
it's
like, I
okay.
love
I went to a
games.
state school. It's okay.
No, a state school was a great idea. At least that's an accredited university. I went to a fucking scam college where they're just like hustling people, just bringing them in off the fucking streets, getting them to sign up for these loans, and basically it's just a revolving door for idiots. I mean, that's what happened to me. I got duped. Um, and yeah, the money I took out, I wanted to pay it back, but didn't really wasn't really in the cards at the time, and I tried to start up those payments again. They gave me an estimate for what the cost of with the repayments, but because of how much I made, that price like ballooned. They're just like, yeah, don't worry, you just got to pay back, X amount of money a month. But when the bill came, it was like for $500 a month, and I was like, this isn't what we agreed to. Like, what the fuck are
They're
you
just like,
talking
well,
about?
fuck you. We're the government,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And I don't know. I think a lot of
Okay,
people
so
are in
where do
my
you fall
situation.
upon this then?
Yeah,
Like, are you
thanks.
like, thanks, but fuck you, or like, where we at? Or
Well,
this
like I
is like
said,
a.
I'm in a 50-foot hole, and they threw down a 20-foot ladder. So I don't know. Like, I guess thanks. I guess for some, look, I'm sure some people are elated. I'm sure some people are singing from the fucking rooftops right now. But I feel like that's really gonna hit people that just got out of school and just started having to pay back their loans. And I
Right. And
think,
but like I said, what happened to? Do we know what happened to the people who already paid? Like they just finished paying off their last loan, and then boom, they
yeah,
got this
look,
update.
you paid it. Good for you. I mean, what you want me to say? Thanks. I'm sure they're saying thanks too. I mean, I don't know. I think it's a good thing though. I think I would rather that money go towards struggling students or people who tried to take a chance to improve their life rather than to some fucking banker or some, you know, trust fund kid or some I don't know. Like I'd rather it go to people who took a chance, tried to go to school and educate themselves. Maybe things didn't work out. Maybe they had to leave. Maybe they, for whatever reason, they fell behind. And this is like a leg up for them. I feel like that's a good thing. Um, yeah, I think it is a good thing. Doesn't really affect me all that much because I'm still, fucked. But I'm sure a lot of people out there appreciate it.
Yeah, there's a spectrum.
Um,
Like I said, there's the people who
oh
just
yeah.
finished paying it off and they're pissed because they just finished paying it off and whatever, and they felt like
I don't know why they should be pissed. Like, what is
they could have done so much more with their if they had that for what I don't know. I have no, like I said, I have no idea. I'm not coming from that lifestyle, but
bro?
I could
If you
assume
have the
that there's
means
people
to
who are
pay that
pissed and
shit
that.
back, if you have the means to pay it back, I don't really think it's killing you that bad. I don't really think it's hurting you all that much to have paid it back. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it's really targeting the people that have not moved the needle at all. And again, I wanted to pay it back. It's just that it was not within my means to do so. So if it is, then pay it back. I mean, I don't really see that as a problem. But if it's not, I don't know. What do you just leave it there? Let it affect your credit score for the rest of your fucking life? I mean, it's not gonna move. I couldn't pay it back yesterday. I can't pay it back tomorrow. What the fuck you want me to do, bitch? Like, I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of people are pissed. But then again, part of the story also is, people, like you said, were trying to bring up this point, like, oh, why don't we just pay off everyone's everything all the time for every reason? And, someone brought up the PPP loans and how they got forgiven. And that kind of
I'm
shut
sorry,
them up a little bit.
the PPP loans.
Yes, sorry. Jeez, I'm going really deep
Remember
on
that
this one.
you're talking to a 5-year-old right now. Please use 5-year-old words.
Sorry.
And PPP is right up my lane, brother. So
No, sorry. The during COVID, because they did a lot of lockdowns, shutdowns. They were trying to get
pandemic protection
no. It was the
plan.
paycheck protection plan.
Oh,
So
okay.
if
Wow,
you
I
had a
was
small
close. I was
business,
so
you
close.
were,
I'm sorry.
you were, no, you were. If you had a small business, you had employees, and your business had to either shut down or, you know, you were taking less customers because people weren't going out as much or whatever. Like, if your business was affected by COVID, the government said, don't fire your employees because we don't want you to, we don't want unemployment to spike through the roof. Keep them on the books. We'll give you loans so that you can keep these people hired. Don't fire them. Keep them on the books. Here's a loan, so that you can pay off your employees. You can keep paying them. And yeah, when the whole shit was said and done, all those loans were forgiven. They're just like, whatever, just take it. We don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter anymore. And they let people walk away with. Some of those companies still got a lot of money. I'm gonna just say that. Okay, way more than some fucking student loan debt. All right, and a lot of people, you know how they are. Like, they're fucking vultures, dog. They just swooped in, took every dime that they fucking could grab, and yeah, whether they needed it or
Yeah,
not,
I know how that works.
yeah, they took that government money and they were just like, oh, whatever. And then the government
Things
was
that
like,
were
just
used for good can easily be used for bad. I understand.
right. So they let them keep it. They're just like, whatever. You don't have to pay it back. It's all forgiven. Open your business. The lockdowns are over. No harm, no foul. And they just let them have all this fucking money. So the government kind of does shit like this, but usually for the more wealthy people, they're giving them like all kinds of fucking loan forgiveness and tax breaks and all
Yeah,
these other fucking
they'll bail
things.
you out if you go under. You know, it's like that's
Thank
how it
you.
goes
They'll
if you have a
bail.
big
They're
enough fucking.
fine. Yeah, yeah, dude. They are fine bailing out huge companies or the owner class type shit. But when it comes to us, peon workers, they're usually like, sucks to be you. They just leave it at that. So yeah, I'm fine with some of these people getting their loans forgiven. I think it's a good thing. So yeah, that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Okay, that's a good story. They're forgiven loans, and we're kind of like, all right, thanks for that, in a sort of way.
Yeah.
So like I said, my story is a little bit more serious. This takes place in Canada though, and it's somewhat related to America as well because I did some more research on this after reading the story. And so this came out August 23rd ish. And I've been going off of a couple of different sources, but this one is taken from Task and Purpose, which is like a military esque. I should have had the story on last week with Goose, but I forgot. I didn't see the article then. But yeah, so a Canadian veteran sought treatment for PTSD. His VA counselor allegedly suggested euthanasia instead.
Whoa. How bad was his PTSD? Jesus Christ.
Well, Canada has the illegally it's legal to have medical assisted death. So like
Yeah, okay.
if your bills are too high, you can opt to just kill yourself. And this
Damn. I
guy,
mean,
no,
that's
I mean
harsh,
that's
but fair.
more or less that's what I got from the whole gist of reading up on this, where it's like, okay, if you're, but like there's of course different stipulations that they have. Like I'm not gonna just completely talk shit about it because there are well, we'll get onto it later in the story. But so allegedly, a Canadian guy with PTSD who was just, he just was calling to try to get some more support, try to get some help, and the
Right.
VA counselor on the other line just repeatedly brought up just kill yourself. Well, not just kill yourself, but like brought up the process of how to, medically assisted death or whatever, the death with dignity or whatever the hell they're trying to call it. And
Right.
he made it clear several times in the interview that he was like, I don't want to do anything. Like, no, that's not the route that
Oh.
I want to take. But they insisted several times over, and of course they reported it to all the the bureaucracy that we were supposed to, all the chain, the command and shit, and
Right.
nothing got done until he went to the news, and then that's when everything started getting up in arms. And this is already after they found out that there was a 61-year-old man who didn't really have he was a little mentally impaired. He had his issues with PTSD and some other stuff, but he wasn't taking his medication and he needed to have a hearing aid because he was losing his hearing. And I guess he wasn't taking his meds too. I think I might have said that already, but he
Yeah.
essentially just listed on his cause of wanting to die is hearing loss. And the APRN and a doctor were like, we don't recommend them doing it, and they killed the guy anyways.
What the fuck are they doing in Canada?
And I
That
looked
just
into this,
sounds
and
insane.
there are 10 states in the United States that are allowing death with dignity. And just looking that up right
So let me get
now.
this straight. The guy needed a hearing aid. This is what you're telling me. You're telling me a guy needed. He's like, I want to die because I can't hear. And they were like, well, we
And
could
he
give
was
you a
and he was
hearing
going
aid.
through some mental trauma. And we are no, he
Sure.
had a hearing aid. He had a
Oh, he
hearing aid. He
had the
wasn't
hearing
taking
aid.
Yes, and he wasn't taking his medication, and he just figured, I'm losing my hearing. Fucking, I don't know. I'm not completely with the. They kept that story more under wraps than the other one, because
Wow.
the death occurred of it. So, but from what I was saying, the brother was like, "You fucking killed him." The brother was fucking pissed. He was like, he was fine. He even called me saying, "You got to get me out of here. You fucking people killed him." And so, like I said, how much of that has been dramatized or what the fuck? Sorry. How much of it has been like overly dramatized for the press, and how much of it like
Dramatized.
actually went
Sure.
through? Yeah. So, but so far in the United States, it's Oregon, D.C., Hawaii, Washington State, Maine, Colorado, New Jersey, California, and Vermont. They have euthanasia, and they have a bunch of
Okay.
different. There's different stipulations, like they say it has to be like within 6 months. You need to have a diagnosis of 6 months to live or something like that. The bills, like they have like fail safes in America for it, but so they say. But who's
So
to
they
say that
say.
it could? Who could get how I could see how it could get fucked up like that. Because I've been in a hospital, and for shit, and I've noticed like sometimes it's really just we're so busy we don't give a fuck. Like especially during I feel like the pandemic was the worst thing because I knew people that were
Oh.
in the medical field that loved what they did, and then the pandemic hit, and they were like, "Yeah, we hope every person in the world dies." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So like I'm
So
seeing, and not even that too. It's just the whole concept of, are we getting it to the point where it's gonna be more cost effective to just kill you versus getting you the right medical care? And I don't know. This is what brought a big fucking to do in my life, because I'm just like, holy shit, I was just in a hospital, and luckily I
really.
know what the fuck. Well, I got 911 out to the hospital fucking last month because of my thing with my stomach, and
Yes.
when I was there, like I'm not an idiot. I understand some drug names and titles and what they do, and giving me the guy gave me like essentially something to help soothe my stomach, like an antacid, and then he gave me lidocaine, which is a fucking numbing agent, and he was like, "Yep, we're giving you this, and it should be fine." And then and then essentially did not do anything for me, just numbed the area that was fucking up. And they're like, "Okay, you're fine, you're discharged." I'm like, "Okay, thanks, doc. Like, I'm glad you were able to help." Like, didn't ask me any questions about it, didn't run any tests, just gave me the numbing agent and essentially a Tums, and was like, "All right, go on your way," type deal.
Hmm.
I fucking remember bringing my grandfather to the hospital years ago. Even this is before the pandemic. He's since passed, but he didn't pass the pandemic. I'm not trying to put that, but this was he got sent to the hospital earlier the year he passed away, and it was he was fine. There's just a certain thing, and the way that the doctor was saying it was like, yeah, you might be better off just pulling the plug on him now. I was like, what the fuck, doc? Like, I was really pissed back then about like that shit. So I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I could see how it could be misconstrued, and it's not that we have death with dignity in Connecticut, but just I could see how the doctor was just like, yeah, no, like you're better off just killing him. And I'm like, whoa, like this is not cool, doc. Aren't you supposed to help him no matter what? Like, I don't know. I'm getting
I don't
I'm
know.
not I'm feeling sorts of ways. I'm feeling sorts of ways about this story.
Sometimes, I mean, I'm not saying for a hearing aid you should be like, maybe you're better off killing him, but death is a part of life, and sometimes death is the better option. Like, that is just a fact. Sometimes you could sit there suffering in great pain day in, day out. That's not something that anyone would want. I don't think anyone would want to cling to a painful, you know barely a life at all, really. If
Right. I understand that too. I get that.
Mhm.
If every second of the day you can't live the way that you want to live because you're in excruciating pain, no matter how old you are, if you lived a good long life, or if you're like an 18-year-old kid that fucking just fucked up and now the rest of his days are in fucking horrifying agony that I cannot comprehend.
that's
Like,
what I'm
okay,
saying. Like,
I could see where some of those options might be a better alternative, but I'm like, I don't know. Remember me, I'm always about this one more thing. So like, I don't know, man. Uh, I'm not trying to say like it's
it's not
like I
easy.
said,
It's not
I'm
easy
trying
because
to
what you're
figure this
talking
shit out in
about,
my head. I'm trying to figure it out in my head right now. Like I'm trying to
what you're
rationalize it.
talking
I'm
about
trying
is
to.
a tough thing to encounter, which is the finality of our own mortality. Like, that's part of life, dude. Um, and I guess it comes down to, do you trust the doctors or do you not trust the doctors? Do you believe that they are experts in medicine, and do you believe that they're trying to do good? Or do you believe that they're just scummy, fucking, out there trying to just push pills on people and just, like, make their lives easier while making your life a hell? Like, I guess it comes down to what you believe. Personally, I think that doctors are very professional, and I think that they have a lot of knowledge, and I think they have a body of knowledge that they try to impart to us, and they are doing their best to help us. But sometimes people don't listen. The
Right.
pandemic was a sure, that sure showed
It
us
made me
how.
believe all the zombie shows. That's for sure. I'm like, oh yeah, totally happened because of it.
Oh, it'll be easy when the zombie virus hits. It's gonna go like wildfire because ain't nobody gonna listen.
Right. But I mean,
But
I guess to be solution based, about this whole thing, I mean, like, I don't know, kind of folks take the steps that you got to take to make sure you live a long, healthy life. Start exercising, start looking at what you eat, start paying attention to all the shit that they're trying to push on us. And this is just like I said, this is just me coming out of a whole thing where I just poured. I didn't want to live to 30. I just fucking consumed alcohol and fried food and just did not give a fuck what entered this body. Just
mm,
that sounded wrong. But you know what I mean? I just didn't whatever I ate, whatever I consumed, I didn't give a shit. So,
right.
and now I'm paying the price for it. But I'm fortunate because I could still turn it around and make something better. But for those people who it's too late for, and now it's like, okay, like now death is might be a better option versus you can't pay your bills because you got into. So it's like, yeah,
I
and
mean, let's not
or
say
so
pay
just
your
like maybe.
bills. Pay your bills, that's not part of the equation. That's only like in the United States, where we don't have like universal health care. So I think this is a crossroads of a lot of different things. Like, you got, end of life care, and then encountering our healthcare system, which is,
Right,
for profit only.
right,
So yeah, it may seem like, because you can't pay your bills, this is easier to just, like, kill you type shit. Like, that is, I guess, a sad thing that we do encounter sometimes. I mean, I look, my wife has diabetes. They have, there have been times where she's missed insulin. It's fucking expensive.
I know.
If we lived, across either border, it would be so much easier to pay for or so much easier to get. Or if we lived overseas, it wouldn't even be a question. It would be just given to her. Just like, you are alive and you have a problem. This is your whole quality of life right now. Like, we want to improve it. So I think a couple of things are kind of intersecting here where, you know, private insurance companies are just raking us over the fucking coals for our health. They're holding our health hostage in a bad, bad way.
So,
And,
folks, try to stay healthy as best you can because they're not going to
bro,
care. I mean,
well,
like,
here's the
I don't know.
thing,
Like,
though. You say stay healthy, but dude, older people don't really have a choice. And saying stay healthy, you can't know when
I'm just
something's gonna
saying,
happen to
try.
you.
Just try. That's all I'm
Well,
saying.
live your
Don't,
life.
don't
How
just
about that? Like,
don't
live.
just spin the wheel and hope you're gonna fucking be able to consume fast
So
food
let
and
me get
drink
this
whiskey
straight.
like there's
If
no tomorrow.
What about someone
But
who's,
that's to me, I guess.
what about someone who enjoys mountain biking? That's their way to stay healthy.
Good.
And then they fall off their bike and break their leg. Were they making a choice that was not healthy? See,
I
it's
see
more
that as an accident that
complicated.
happens. It is. It is.
Okay,
It is a part.
so these things happen. Like, accidents happen, health scares happen, bad things happen, and you're aging the whole fucking time. You're getting older and older. So yeah, you're gonna come to that point where maybe there is nothing they can do, and they know it. And I don't know. It's a hard thing to deal with, our own mortality, but we shouldn't make it harder on people, and it definitely shouldn't be the first resort. What I'm saying? Like, oh shit, looks like you stubbed your toe. I don't know. We're gonna be able.
Look at the
We're out of
flowers.
aspirin. Yeah.
Wow. Like that shouldn't be the. That should not be the way it is. But like I said, man,
Right.
like it's a complicated aspect because I feel like, and like you said, it's a crossroads, and
It
my
is
baby new formed brain right now has to try to figure out where I exactly gonna plant my flag in this fucking pyramid, or not
euthanasia.
pyramid, but this fucking in this whole fucking graph. You know what I mean? The political compass, I guess, if where you want to put it,
Sure.
like where I want to stake my flag, where I want to put my scatter plot dot.
I
But
mean,
I don't
euthanasia
know,
is
man.
tough, man. Because if I get some debilitating disease or something like that, or if I lose like 90% of the functionality of my life, I don't want to keep going like that. That doesn't seem like a life I want to live. But again, if I have the choice, that's my choice to make. I think that should be left to those people if they can still make that choice. And if you can't because you're debilitated, then should go to their loved ones. And if there's no one there, then I don't know. I would never want it to be in the hands of some fucking insurance company. Just well, some guy in a suit walks in. Like, no, fuck that. That's not a good idea. So that's why I say universal healthcare. Okay, like, can we get it done? Is it possible for us to do this? Other people have it. Why can't we fucking have it? I'm sick of it. All right. Universal healthcare. There's their solution right there. You want to be
Well,
solution
Canada has
oriented,
universal health care, and they're the ones that are suggesting people kill themselves. So
which is I don't know, man. I would have to know more about why they would suggest someone off themselves because of PTSD. That just seems insane. Like, I don't know. I don't know why they would do that. It doesn't seem like something a doctor would do.
right, no, that's why I said I looked up. I wasn't satisfied with just one article. I've gone through several articles, and I
No,
just brought up
I hear
task and
you.
purpose as the first one to talk about. But
I hear
yeah, no,
you. I hear you. That's
I'm
fucking
feeling a
nuts.
certain way. I'm feeling a certain way about it, especially because it's a veteran, and I feel like they've gone through their shit, but they should not give up like that. And and not to
No,
mention that, like, fucking, how many veterans kill themselves every day? So
truly,
they
that's
talk
another
about being like
problem.
22 to 24 veterans a day kill themselves.
Again, so maybe a mental health thing as well, which again falls back to, if we all had healthcare, we could all get the mental health we needed. Like, it is it seems complicated, but I feel like it's such a simple thing. Like, just give us all fucking healthcare, okay? Just give us fucking healthcare. That way we can take care of our mental issues, we can take care of our physical ailments, and we can live our lives to the fullest. And then when it does come that time, we have the right care.
So
And
what's your
yeah,
argument
it's
for the
not
people
something we
that
should
have
have to
to
think
like
about.
come to America to get health care because they don't because there's such long wait lines in their countries because of the health care? Everyone has it,
Well, if
so
they
it's
can
such a
afford to
long wait.
do it, if they can afford to come to America, then I don't think the was part of their problem. Like honestly, like if you can afford to get on a
How?
jet
But
and fly
okay, so
to,
but yeah, so that's for them. They did that means,
mm-hmm,
but for the person who can't do that, that the story doesn't talk about the how many million people are waiting
have to wait.
months
Yeah,
and
people have
months
to wait
and
months
months.
now here in America too. What are you talking about?
I
You
mean, like
think
I said,
people
I
don't
was
have to
able to
wait
walk
for
it
care
out.
here?
I have state health care
You
because
went
I
to
work for the
the
state,
emergency
and
room.
I went to the emergency
You went
room
to
and
the
I was able to
emergency
get
room.
seen right away, type deal. And I
Yeah,
had
we're
and I
talking
had to
about.
schedule doctor's appointments later on, and I was able to get them
Oh, did
within
you
a
have to
week
wait to
or
be
2 weeks
scheduled?
later.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like a
Yeah.
week
So
versus 9 months
guess
for
what?
this.
I don't think you'd have. I don't think for your thing you'd have to wait 9 months. Look, every
But then again, I don't live in that
situation is
sort of I don't
different.
live in
Okay.
that society, so I really can't say. I really can't. I just don't. I
No,
don't live in that system.
I will say, it's different for every situation because, yeah, sometimes there are waiting lists for specific procedures, complicated procedures. Sometimes there's only one MRI machine in your fucking vicinity, and you have to wait. Sometimes there's a certain test that needs to be done that takes, time because there's a lot of people getting that test. And yes, you have to wait. Like, we have to wait here in America too. It's not like people just instantly can get certain types of surgeries whenever at the drop of a hat. No, people have to wait. Even now, even when you're paying with your fucking Cadillac health plan, unless you know some private mafia doctor, nah, motherfucker, you gotta wait too. Like
Oh, how I
everybody has to
wish.
fucking wait.
How I wish I knew a private mafia doctor. Because he'd be like, quit being
Like,
a fucking pussy. Just keep doing it. I'm like, I hear you, doc. I'm fine. And I would just be, send me on my way. That's what I need. Lie to me, folks. Just tell me I'm
no,
fine,
I had
and
to,
I'll
I
be
had to
fine.
wait. I think, there was something that I needed done, and it took a few months to get down that list. I was on the bottom of the fucking list, and I had to wait a few months. And it wasn't like something I needed done instantly. It was from my insomnia. They wanted to do a sleep study. Um, so the urgency was not there. Now, look, the more urgent your needs, they're not going to make you wait if you have a heart attack. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not going to make you wait if you have something that has an immediate emergency type of thing, obviously. But yeah, for things that may take longer or have, like, not as urgent, yeah, you might have to wait. So yes, I remember I did have to wait 3 months to get my sleep study done because they're like, bitch, you ain't been sleeping. 3 more months ain't gonna kill you, type of thing. Like, yeah. So I
And
think
if
it's
it gotten
okay. Like,
worse in the meantime, you think they would have bumped you up on the list?
if I would have went to the emergency room and been like, I'm scared, I'm about to blow my brains out because I haven't slept in a year, they'd be like, we didn't see this guy right away. Yeah, like, I don't think they would have made me wait. So it's different. Every situation is different. I mean, I don't think they're just like turning people away with emergencies in other countries. And again, I don't
Right.
think they're. I
And
know
I'm
for
not.
a
And
fact they're
here's the
not.
thing, folks. Here's the thing. Remember, I am a soft, smooth-brained individual at this moment.
Stop.
I don't quite understand. No. I'm trying to be as fucking serious as possible. I'm not trying to say like, oh, well, I know this is the right because of blah blah. No, I'm fucking dumb. So I don't know.
No, it's
I'm
not
working
that.
on it. I'm working
It's
on it,
not that.
and I'm
Your
trying to.
story
Like I
is
said, I'm trying to
crazy.
figure out where I'm
Okay,
standing.
I look. I understand that story does make it seem like people are just out here like, you know, trying to take the short route and be like, "Oh shit, man, sorry you broke your leg, but
Well, I mean,
here's
there's
a
some people that
revolver."
I know for a fact that there are so many people that like they know that they get a terminal illness with cancer and they get divorced because they don't want to have their wife have to be stuck with all the bills, so they get divorced.
Right, that does happen. Yeah, that
You
does
know,
happen. It's sad, but
and the fact
that's
that it's
definitely
getting
an
to that,
American thing, though.
yeah, for sure. And that there's got to be a better alternative. And
Universal healthcare.
is it universal healthcare? Like I said,
It's
like is
fucking universal healthcare. Yeah, yeah. It would solve all of our problems. Not all, but a lot. I think I mean,
Like I
I know
said, I
this is
can't
going kind
see
of
it
on
as
a.
I can't see it as a miracle pill. I don't believe in anything being a miracle pill. So
I know this is going on a tangent, but universal healthcare, since we are on this kind of like health kind of thing, is a way to affect everyone at once. And we're going through a lot of shit right now, and with mental health issues, a lot of undiagnosed mental health shit is going on in this country. There's lots of shootings and bad things going on because people are not able to get the help that they need. I think universal health care could affect us there. Um, you know, and I think it could have an effect on every aspect of our lives if people are not worried about, having to pay out of pocket for the things in their lives that they need to stay alive, and that they can go and get the help when they need to instead of waiting until shit gets bad. So, yeah. The way I was saying, we need to destigmatize this shit. We need to make it okay for people to go get help. But right now, there's a paywall there as well. So not only is there a stigma around it, but there's also a paywall around it, which makes it even fucking harder. So, yeah, we gotta let people get help when they need it. And I think universal healthcare is going to solve a lot, or not just. I'm not going to say solve, but it can kind of ease a lot of the pressure that we're going through in this country right now because
okay,
there's
I
so
I could get
much
behind that
shit.
language because, like I said, when I hear one side screaming that this is the perfect solution, it's the only way to live your fucking life. It's gonna cure every single 100%, 1,000%. It will give you a fucking intense orgasm. It's never gonna be that perfect. So to say yes, I
Mm,
could agree with it will ease more tensions than the current situation that we have right now.
for
It could
sure.
also bring up other tensions in other areas, but we don't know that yet because
You
we're
know what?
having
And
this
I
information.
would
So.
love to see. I welcome those challenges rather than letting shit stay as it is. That's how I look at it. So yeah, your story is fucking
So
crazy though.
I sent that text that you got was from me. I sent you an article that
Oh,
was another one that was linked to it. But just so you could, because maybe you missed something when you could read it, and you could we could go over it, and then the corrections next week. We'll talk about how Spec,
I'll
you're a
check
fucking
it out.
idiot. This isn't what happened. Like,
No, no,
honestly,
it
no, no,
does
I'm
sound
serious
crazy.
because you could read something and it could get completely different than what I got out of it. Because what I got out of it was from that whole scared baby, like, oh no, what's going on in the world? Veterans are
Stop.
being
Okay.
offered
Why?
suicide first. You know what I mean? I don't know. So look at
Oh
it.
my
Let me know what you
god.
feel. Let me know what you actually think. You know what I mean? Then we'll make this an honest effort. Because like I said, I'm trying, man. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be open. I'm trying to listen, but I'm not. But I'm also realizing my limitations at the moment. Like I'm okay.
No, that's fair.
I'm okay, but I'm not perfect. And I'm working on it. So that's the best I got right now.
Well, that kind of turned into a healthcare rant out of nowhere. But
Yeah, folks. Sorry about that.
all right.
Yeah.
Don't we have another roll to do before we
Oh
wrap
yes, we
things
do.
up?
Yes, we do. We got the roll, and then
All
we
right.
get all philosophical.
Sure.
What you got? Oh, what the fuck? Double numbers? Not doing that again. This one we got. Oh, low number now. 6.
Oh God.
Oh
The number
boy.
6 is there's an app for that
All right, there's
already.
an app for that. Let's see
Yeah.
here. Um, all right, I got one. It's called the Random app.
The random app. Oh shit.
So this is really weird. So when I go to West Haven, go see my friends from college. Uh, sometimes we have to figure out what we're gonna eat. Sometimes we gotta figure out a coin, do this and that. Sometimes I don't have a coin on me. So it's like literally an app that has so many like random shit on here. And one of them that I like to use is the Lucky Wheel, where we
Mm.
build it up with a bunch of food choices that we like, and then I get to just spin it whenever the hell we were like, all right, what are we gonna eat? And I just fucking do the thing, and it spins, and then it lands on something, and oh yeah, and we could check it out.
Pretty
I don't
cool.
know, it's become a staple of some West Haven nights where we're like, oh, we gotta spin the wheel.
No, I like that. That's a good idea, man.
Yeah, it's
an
just
app, a
another,
randomizer
actually
app.
just another fucking way to do a D20 thing, I guess. You know, fucking
Kind of,
yeah.
yeah.
There's
Shit.
an app for that. Do we have an app for that? So yeah, that's. I mean, yeah, it's a little. I don't know. Like it's a segment because that's just a little tiny one. I mean, I'm sure I got a lot of different fucking apps for everything, but what do you got? I'm sure you got a good app in mind for this one. I'm pretty sure you wrote that prompt.
Man, I actually really didn't want to talk about a specific app, but I was more just thinking like, what apps do you use or some app related shit. Maybe recommend some shit. So if there is an app that I was gonna recommend, it would probably be Likewise. Likewise is a review app for different shows and books. And I really do like this app because it kind of creates communities around, what you're watching, and they let you rank shows, and you get to see other people's reviews. They make recommendations. Um, it's really good if you're trying to find something to watch. There's a lot of what should I watch next going on because there's so much content out there, but they kind of cater your likes, cater what you've liked and what you've commented on, and try to recommend shows that are relevant to you, or you can follow people and see what other people are watching. It's an interesting little app. I like little social apps like that. I think there will be more apps like this in the future. I really do believe that. And I don't know. I kind of want them to do something similar for gaming, but I don't know. Maybe one day something like that will appear. But yeah, I like the community aspect of it. Like if you watch a lot of anime, they'll recommend you to the anime section. If you watch a lot of drama, they'll recommend you to the drama section. Yeah, it lets people come together and share the shows that they like, and they have little quizzes and questionnaires that keep it entertaining. It's actually pretty good. A good community building app. That's what I like to see. I do use that one regularly, and I recommend it. So check it out. I like it.
Yeah, like so, like for a video. I mean, like fuck it, man. If you get good with your tech side and you get that team built, fucking make an app for video games, man. That to bring the whole community together to be like, all right, we gotta. I mean, isn't that kind of like Discord in or a sort of way? Like,
Um, well, there's no chat feature on Likewise. It's just like a static board of it's kind of more like the app is kind of set up more like a dating app where you can swipe left and right on certain shows that they recommend you, and they start to cater their recommendations. And yeah, you put what you've watched. You can make different lists of what you watched and share those lists with different people, and you can see what other people listed. And so it's kind of set up more like a message board than like an outright chat. I don't think there is a chat feature available. You can leave comments, but there's no open like back and forth type chatting. So yeah, Discord's a little bit different, but I do like this app because, like I said, the community shit, bringing people together, talking about what they like, and so far it hasn't descended into uh
pure anarchy.
yeah, it hasn't become like fuck your show, man. Your show sucks. You watch that? You're shit. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. This show's at like somehow we've all managed to just enjoy each other's company and recommend other shows and rate shows and just be there. Hopefully, it doesn't turn into that. That would really suck. But so far, it's been pretty cool.
Oh
So
god,
far, it's
wait
been
till
pretty
they add the
chill.
chat feature. As soon as they add the chat feature, then
Uh,
it's fucking down.
I think that might be true. Like that might be true, and I think it's because there is no like you can only thumbs up and thumbs down, or no, you can only thumbs up. So there's no way to like shit on a show. The most you can do is say you've watched it and not thumb it up. That's like the worst thing you can do, and even then, that takes effort. So it's like most people don't even bother. So it's just like things that are popular just kind of go up, and things that suck just kind of languish in the bottom of the pit. But yeah, it's a fun site. It is. I think people should check it out if they because they do books, they do shows, they do movies, but they haven't done music or games yet. And they don't,
They could.
they're
I'm feeling like they're gonna expand to that at some point once they know what they got going on. Right? How long's this app been out?
I don't know. Honestly, I can't tell you. I mean, I guess I could look it up, but I'm lazy right now, so
Yeah, it's
I'm
fine.
not
Go ahead.
sure. But here's my thing: if they haven't jumped on it yet, then they're not very smart because they don't know. Like, dude, a good media recommendation app that isn't like done by some fucking corporate overlord like Amazon fucking Eye of Sauron bullshit. Just like, yes, watch this immediately. Like, this is the new show. No, it's all just like user recommends. It's all just people getting together and talking about what they like, and so that's why I kind of enjoy it.
And like you said, they
So, yeah.
can't just thumbs down completely bomb a show and not make it to where
Yeah,
it's like it's
yeah.
kind
It's
of just
not
like
Rotten
it's either
Tomatoes.
it's either meh or I really like this. You know what I mean? Like I get it
Yeah, yeah,
because when a show's meh, I'm not gonna watch it. But if it's like
yeah.
if you're really gonna go out of the way to recommend it, then it's like okay, then I'll watch it. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like what you're saying with like or like at least what we were trying to get at with Rings of Power, where it's like follow the money. If the
Mm,
viewership's there and it does and you give it that fucking attention, if it's negative or positive, it's still the money going to it, and they don't care about the other stuff because it's all is the profit there? Yes, then boom.
yeah.
So
If the publicity is there, they don't care either way. So yeah, in this way, I think it is good. Now, I wish they would do music because doing books and TV shows and movies is cool and everything, but I think more people are into like music recommendations because it's harder to do music. And for video games, it's like video games are bigger than the movie industry and TV industry combined. Bitch, you better get your that's what the money is, fool. Like, more people are participating in this shit every day, so you should incorporate that. So likewise, if you're fucking listening, do it before I get into this, and I will take your shit. So like, yeah.
I'm not trying to go back to me again, but uh,
Hmm.
so this kind of reminded me because you were talking about music and thumbs up and so my brother Mike, we have this funniest story about Pandora and how because you can like kind of train Pandora like thumbs up, I don't like this song, I like this song type deal, blah blah blah. So
Yeah.
he fucked up his Kid Cudi radio so much that we kind of almost turned into like a drinking game to where like we turn on Kid Cudi radio and like okay, we got Kid Cudi, that's normal. We got Mac Miller, normal. Then we get like Perry Como, Papa Loves Mambo. Like
What?
what the fuck? And
How?
yeah, he fucked up his Kid Cudi radio so bad. So we kind of made it a game to where like okay, when are we gonna hear some fucking? We would get like Blue Moon from fucking the Marcells, like some doo-wop band. Like we would get a lot of weird shit. And I don't know if that was Kid Cudi trolling us or if that was just we really did fuck up Pandora that much, but that was a really good time in our lives back then. Just
That's
bringing back
hilarious.
nostalgic memories.
Yeah, dude, the algorithm, you can fuck with it. You can. I mean, they try to give you good recommendations, but
When are we gonna hear some fucking? We would get like Blue Moon from fucking the Marcells, like some doo-wop band. Like we would get a lot of weird shit. And I don't know if that was Kid Cudi trolling us or if that was just we really did fuck up Pandora that much, but that was a really good time in our lives back then. Just
that's
bringing back
hilarious.
nostalgic memories.
Yeah, dude, the algorithm, you can fuck with it. You can. I mean, they try to give you good recommendations, but sometimes. I mean, I hate when people try to get me to watch like YouTube videos and shit, and they're like, no, just click on this, and it's something crazy, and then YouTube starts recommending me crazy shit. Just like, no, that was a one-time thing. YouTube, I'm not into this. Please, don't try to pull me into this shit. Like, so yeah, the algorithm will fuck you up sometimes. That's true.
Well, I mean, even a fucking I'm gonna keep fucking talking here, but Jesus Christ, but like even to go back to we recently, I tried to recommend a show to you type deal, and it was like I get it. It was like all right, well here we go, like we're gonna go through this thing. You gave it a shot, you really did. You tried.
I did.
It
I
just
tried my
ended up
best.
ended, and that's fine. I mean, I
I
learned that
tried.
lesson a while ago because it's not a easy show to watch, and I'm talking about The
Um.
Leftovers, folks. So
Yes, the leftovers, man.
The
We're gonna
Leftovers
bring
on
that up on
HBO.
here now too.
Yeah,
Oh
I mean,
Lord.
like it's. I felt like it was for me so much because I had a lot of shit to deal with, and it offered a lot of different ways, and I was able to watch it different times and get different things out of it. I don't know, maybe I'm just that much of a fucking culture nerd, or the fuck I related so much to a fucking program, but like it helped me a lot. And so when I was trying to like talk it up to you, like, I hoped I wasn't really leading you down a path that you're like, oh, what the fuck's you talking? This is garbage. But I mean, like, but I can
No, I mean
understand that
it.
it's not for everybody. So
No, it's definitely not for everybody. Okay, that's for sure.
right,
I think it was just like, man, how can I put this in a nice way? It just was a little bit too depressing. There's too many religious overtones. There's too many like people making bad choices for bad reasons. Like, there's just a little bit too much insanity for me. And it's like, I get what you're saying. Like, different people can relate to different aspects and different characters of the show. But I think it's more for people who have, you know, are
a lot of
leaning more
fucked up
towards.
trauma.
Well, yeah, I think it is for people who have gone through a loss. And I think it is for people who are more on the spiritual side of things, of not knowing what really is the truth and not knowing what's really going on, or not understanding everything about their lives, and trying to make sense of something that's not fully understood, like death. That's a tough subject, and I think the show does approach it in a interesting way, but there's just too much random shit going on for me, and I couldn't take it seriously. Some of the shit was just like, oh god,
And
like,
that's for
why
me,
is
like,
this
that's like
happening?
how it was the little bit of lightheartedness that came in that, like, if it was, I mean, yeah, you watched season one, and season one's definitely the most depressing season of the show because they were the first season, they're just trying to find its roots. It was going based off more of the book, and but yeah, season two, like I said, for me, that was a crazy thriller the whole way through. And then season three was all about how, like, I don't know, I really needed season three in my life. But I don't know, like I said, I watched it different times. I got different shit out of it every time. And even just talking to you about it, I got different shit out of it. You know what I mean? Didn't even have to watch the show. I just had to
All right.
relive the moments while talking to you. And I pulled different shit out of the hat. And yeah, no, it's for me, like I said, I'm not to keep beating myself over the head, but like the less intelligent folks often go to sort of a faith-based solution to their issues,
I don't want to
going
go
back
that
in time.
far.
So,
I
well, I
don't
mean,
want to
like
go that far,
it's
my dude. Like,
well, because there's that line where you got mostly science, men of science, men of religion, men of faith. So it's like, back in the day where there's mostly faith-based shit, and then the science came around, then we kind of started being like, all right, well, there's some of this shit that science is like, yo, we have every fucking answer for it. What the fuck you talking about? This isn't. It's not raining because God was sad that day. It's raining because fucking clouds, precipitation, this and that.
oh
It's like
no.
there's so a lot of shit that used to be this is the reason why it happens. This is that, like, it's religious. This is, the spirituality, whatever the fuck. It's like because people didn't know. So, or a lot of times it's more convenient than acknowledging the truth of the education. I don't know. Like, I don't know
Mm.
where I'm trying to get with that, but
That convenience is dangerous, though.
I could see why it related to me because, like I said, I was raised Catholic, and it just had a lot of that sort of ideology, and it fought against some of that ideology too in it later episodes in season two. But that's why I said it. It was really, I felt like it was tailor made for me in some aspects, and I was like, holy shit,
Well,
like it's
hey, if you enjoyed it, maybe go on likewise and see if other people enjoyed it, and see if they have other shows that they could recommend for you. Like, if that might be one way to find something similar, or something that you like, find something new. I
yeah.
don't
And
know.
like I said, I'm all open up to new shows and stuff. So now, I mean, I'm not
Yes,
what
now
you
that
call it.
Cantrell is, he's gonna take the wheel very soon.
Yeah, yeah. When we start getting that shit down, it's gonna be dangerous. I'm
It's
gonna
gonna be
be
hilarious.
exposed to a lot of shit that I don't, that I'm never gonna usually subject myself to. But it's gonna be fun. I can't wait. I'm
It's
all
gonna
about
be
new experiences
funny
now.
as hell.
So we'll
Funny
see.
as hell. I'm ready for it.
So yeah, yeah. No, I'm ready for it too. So now let's wrap the show up and talk about some philosophy that we have, and we always sprinkle in our philosophy throughout the show with our topics and
I'm trying
just the
to.
randomness that comes up sometimes. We can't really contain it to this one section. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Maybe just for this segment, I guess we're still working on all the bugs for this show. So maybe we just try to tie it all up at the end. We try to our conclusion paragraph type deal. Where we kind of
Yeah,
bring it all over together. The
kind
main.
of talk about the roles, talk about everything, talk about what's going on, and just talk about trying to stay positive and trying to build something, and
Yeah,
really go
because our
back over
philosophy
why we're
is
here.
solution based. It is about we're tired of losing and we're tired of complaining. We're starting to do. We're picking up our controllers and we're playing the game. And
Yeah.
how we win and how do we get the solve the solutions here. And a lot of it does fall into, well, it's a complicated process and it's better, like you said, it's not perfect, but I'd rather face the problems that are gonna rise from it, like we talked about universal healthcare, essentially, where
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, it isn't a perfect solution for everything, but it's a better solution than some current institutions that we have going on.
Oh, for
And
sure.
and if we could just implement it and then see what the fuck could happen after, we could course correct and what I mean? But
Yeah,
I don't know,
that's the
like there's
point.
a lot of times where there's people that it's just convincing the other side or convincing people to just try something. Just like, what the fuck? We tried a fucking celebrity as president twice. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
so
that did happen. I think it is good to try new things, and sometimes it doesn't always work out, but at least you tried. And again, whatever comes up, it's better to know that you gave it a good, honest try than because you don't want to live with those regrets, man. That's another thing. Like you don't want to end up feeling like you didn't do enough when you had the opportunity to, because that's not a good feeling.
no,
You
not at
want to
all.
give,
That's why I
you
like
want to
that
give
whole
it your
thing with
all.
tonight. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Just be like the whole thing for tonight, man. Like getting the getting the community out for dinner, just to just to have that human connection moment that I felt like was missing. Just and if tonight failed and we all fucking had a huge argument, hey, at least I tried to bring everyone together. I could
Exactly.
say that I went out swinging. So
Truly.
no, it
And
is
in that
worth.
moment,
You know,
that was you giving it your all, man. Honestly, like you put yourself out there in a way that I don't think a lot of people normally would. I think a lot of people are just kind of content looking at their neighbor take out their mail and just kind of waving at them like I don't know you, whatever. Like I think people are completely
I
okay
knocked on
with that guy.
everyone's door. I knocked on every
Yeah.
door. I went
See.
to. I mean, there's only 8 of us here, so it wasn't like I was going to like this big building. We have a small group, so I'm like, fuck it, we got to try this out. We got to try to be better towards each other because we're all we got. We're all we got. If
And look,
anything bad happens, we're all we got. So
and I think that's a great approach to take. Taking the initiative. There's nothing wrong with it, and look where it got you. Something good came out of it. And so just like me trying to start my business, it's like there's it can't be as bad. The worst that can happen is they say no, but the good that can come of it is like so multifold that it's worth doing. Just go for it. Just fucking
right,
go for it,
and
man.
you had that. Hopefully it doesn't go like this, but you have that Rocky type, like you went the distance. You tried as fucking hard, but the door got closed, and it's like, all right, well, I'll just fucking have to breach now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, try something
And I
else.
think, yeah, I think that's another thing people have to understand. Like failure, a lot of people shut down after they fail or when they get rejected, and I think we have to start seeing that as a learning opportunity and a learning situation. Like you learned that this person isn't on the same page as you, so keep going, keep moving forward. Go around them. Like they're not for you. You're not. Don't let it slow you down. Don't start dwelling too much on, oh shit, what could I have done. Like, no, when you approach, that's kind of go back to your thing. Like if you came correct the first time, you won't have to look back. You can just say, I gave them everything I had and they didn't want it. Fine, I can confidently go to the next one because I know someone will pick up what I'm putting down eventually. And yeah, that's a good way to kind of get over, that kind of hesitation of encountering failure, worrying about like what you did wrong. That's a good way to get over that. Is to just always give it your all. And yeah, I think we're both kind of learning that now, living in situations where that it's proving to be true.
I mean, fuck it, man. We're all gonna die one day. We might as well make it a good story, right?
This is
Like,
true. This is true. Well, maybe we'll see. I'll have a story on the next episode. We'll see if we're all gonna die someday.
oh lord.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'll do some more research on it, but there is some crazy shit coming down the pipeline here. I don't know. Maybe we won't all
I don't
die
know.
someday.
That does kind of that's open up a can of worms right now because now my head's spinning. Where it's like, is that really something that we want?
Some of us do. Just like some of us want sex bots. Some don't. Some are like, hey, I don't need this. But some do.
Well,
I
I
think
kind of just feel like the fact that it all does end and you don't know when it is going to end and all that jazz, it kind of, at least for me, in my, Neanderthal brain, that I don't know, I kind of need the doom. I need the fact that
you need the
I
doom.
can't, I need the knowledge of this all comes to an end one day. And so do
Mm,
the best I fucking can now because I never know when I'm not going to be able to do good again, or how I'm going to be able to do good in the same ways. So I kind of use that as like a motivation for me to be better because I know that I'm trying to be better than the day before. And if I just live forever, do I really have a? I could just wait out, and it doesn't get. I essentially don't have to really care then about the world because I'll be there forever. And I mean, yeah, I wanna see shit, but then also I'll just be like, oh well, if it's that bad, I'll just fucking wait it out, see how it goes another 100 years. Versus like, I don't know, I'm gonna
I
die tomorrow.
mean,
I wanna fucking get that thing out now. I need to do it now. The urgency is now. Like you were saying, like the if the fire hit you and the ice hit me, I guess, fucking Game of Thrones shit.
mhm.
But I mean, like, yeah, no, like I needed the perspective of man, like if I'm dying tomorrow, am I gonna fucking say that I did a podcast, or am I gonna say that I thought about doing a podcast?
Right.
Am I gonna say that I took out my whole community to dinner, or I wanted to take them out to dinner? Like I feel like the urgency of death is coming. Winter is coming. Something, you know what I mean? The fact that, the bad times will hit eventually, but will I be able
I
to
think
say that I did what I did? So,
for me, I think doing good has its own urgency. I don't think I need any other kind of measurements to calculate when I should do good. I think goodness has its own urgency in my mind because at any given moment, someone could be doing something fucked up out there, ripping someone off, robbing them, beating them up. There's bad things already happening. So in my mind, there is already enough motivation to do something good. I don't need to think about my life to do good. I just need to do it because it's going to, offset and improve someone's life somewhere. Like there's already that urgency for me to try to bring people together and try to do good for them. So I don't know. I never really had that. There was never like that kind of like other side of the equation. Like, well, I'm doing it because of this. It's like, no, I'm doing it because that's the way it should be, type of thing. Like, this is how I should be living my life. I don't know. I never really found my motivation for doing good somewhere else. It's more about, I don't know. I think it's more just, it has to happen. Like, I've never really needed that pressure to do good. It should be this way, so that's what I'm going to do.
so you want to be Doctor Who, essentially. You
Like,
want to be going through time and space, seeing the whole span of time and what it has to offer, and picking up companions along the way that they're not going to live as long as you, but fuck them. Like, you'll have nice little pets that you could take care of for the time
what
being
about
that have their
pets?
own
What?
stories and have their own agency and have their own, like, I'm essentially, if this is the first iteration of your Doctor Who, because you're gonna live to be a million bajillion years old, then I'm gonna be a fucking speck, literally like my name. I'm gonna be a speck of sand on your beach of time, and where I'm
Oh
just gonna
man.
be some passing, fleeting memory, because you're gonna be
No, I
going
mean,
on and on and on and on and on.
but that's kind of how. I mean, isn't that how things are now? I mean, isn't history that thing? I mean, you're a history major, bro. You know, like our who we are, kind of just like what our actions echo through time. You know, what we do, it matters. So I don't think it's like we're specs. I don't really. I mean, your name is Spec, but I don't really see us as like some insignificant thing. I mean, we have an opportunity to to do good and affect people's lives, and yeah, we should take that opportunity because that's the way it should be. I mean, I don't know. I think it's tough to describe. It is. I think it's a tough thing to kind of drill down on why people do what they do, but
Right, because remember, you're talking to a chronic procrastinator, all right? I would fucking wait till the last minute, do whatever the fuck I had to do. Fucking, I'm gonna play this video game until midnight because I have a paper due the next day, and then I'm only good when the pressure's on. So I'm only good at finally not being a selfish fuck when I know that, all right, time's up, brother. Like, you have no more time to fucking fuck around.
well, damn.
Let's
I mean,
go.
well, here's the thing
Let's
though.
go.
Like, if doing good things is your selfish endeavor, then it's kind of a feedback loop. You don't need, I was explaining to someone in my class, like, we're talking about the problem that I'm trying to solve, and it's like if you can create a feedback loop of, oh, in-game currency, people can't trade it, but if it was, and they're like, oh, well, why is that an interesting problem? It's like, well, people want to do it. And then I was like, well, cryptocurrency isn't in-game currency, and they're like, well, why is that interesting? I was like, well, it's interesting because it solves the first problem. Like, it just brings you naturally back into that loop of, it's a feedback loop. So the motivation for me, it kind of is more like a feedback loop. Like, I don't know.
Right, but
Does that
that's just
make
all
sense?
going off of what I know, because I don't have
Right.
an immortal existence. And if I could even remotely comprehend what that life would be like, then I might be able to speak more truth to it. But for right now, since I don't have that existence, I can only speak to what makes me tick, and that is knowing that I'm going to die and being okay with that. And I've accepted it. And
So here, let me ask you this then.
all right,
You don't have an immortal existence. No one has had an immortal existence, okay? But don't you think there are people who have had an impact beyond their own mortality? Don't you think there are some things that have lived on, some ideas, some um, that have lived, some things can live beyond life, not spiritually. And I'm not talking about your soul. I'm talking about ideas here. Okay.
right,
And
the like the Constitution, like the words or
sure,
the ideologies of the founding fathers or whatever,
sure,
or just badass stories in history that I could recall.
yeah,
You know what I mean? People like that.
yeah. You
Their
don't look at
actions
those
echoed
things,
through the centuries
but
or
you don't
whatever.
see those things as immortal. What do you see those things as then? Like, because you say your motivation does not come from, or your motivation comes from being mortal. But aren't there some immortal things you can leave behind that can affect life? I mean, how do you see those things that you leave behind? Are they also mortal, or what do you? I mean, this
It's
podcast.
right. This will be in a way immortalizing us, just like how my
Sure.
buddy who passed away, his videos will forever immortalize him. And just
Yeah.
like in the stories we tell about our family members that have passed, like the lessons that my dad taught me are going to become immortalized in this. The D20 concept that I mean, that's the thing that's all him.
Yeah.
Like there are certain things in life that do go beyond the body, uh but that's what it is. It goes beyond the body. The body no
Hmm.
longer cares because the body's no longer here. So like the ideologies, the abstract thoughts, the what the fuck, You know, like just the lessons, the funny stories, the this and that. Like everything comes to an end at least, and like just even trying to recreate the old days of like Rise or old timers or whatever the hell, like our good old fashioned days. Like the way that our life is, like I can't get those days back. The
No,
way
you
that I
can't.
work, the way that I have this thing, like I don't have the same motivations to stay up. I get out of work at 5 o'clock. You'd be like, "Yo, Spec, are you getting on?" And be like, "I'm on my way, guys." And we play till like fucking 3 in the morning. Like those days can't exist anymore. I don't have it in me. But maybe I don't know if I still had that youth. But then again, I still have friends of mine that I know for a fact that they're just as old as I am, but they're still doing the same exact shit that they were when they were kids
No, for
and when
sure.
I first started hanging out with them, and they could still hold their own drink and do this and that. I'm like, I don't know how the fuck you could do that, because I'm gonna die if I have anything like at this point. So,
Oh man.
but I mean, like it's complicated, I guess, because
It is, life is very complicated, but you know what? I believe there are solutions to all these issues. I
I'm okay
think,
with not living forever. I guess maybe that's the reason why I don't have that urge to live forever, because I'm okay with it.
you
I'm
know
cool.
what? I'm gonna put it like this. I'm fine with it too because I don't see myself as my body. I see myself as a collection of the ideas that have come from the past through me. Now I get to project them into the future in my own way. So I'm not worried about, my own mortality. I'm more worried about what can I put into the world that is gonna, you know, survive me. That's what I'm more concerned about. Like, I'm here to bring about the immortality of a good idea, of, a real friendship, of meaningful interactions that can ripple through time. Like, that's my thing. Like, I don't see myself as a mortal being. Maybe that's why I see myself as the collection of those ideas that never die. And here's my chance to push my idea that never dies, and to keep humanity going forward in a positive way and doing better and better. Like, so no, I guess maybe I do see myself as immortal, which is weird to say as a person who is human. Like, but I'm just the ideas that came down through me, the things that were taught to me, trying to rearrange themselves and put something more ideas out that are going to survive me. And yeah, we're doing that every day. You gotta express yourself. That's what expression really is. You're expressing, I believe, the best ideas. You're expressing and putting them out there because they survive. They do. And if you build something that survives you, hey, who can say what, who really knows what you really are in totality? And I think our ideas are the strongest part of ourselves because those are the things that live the longest. So yeah, put them out there, man. Put it out there. That's how I look at it. I don't really. I guess I'm kind of insane to say like I don't see myself as mortal, which, but I feel like I'm more my ideas than I am my mortal body. So
Well,
yeah,
because
that's how
then
that works.
there's also the concept of immortality of like invulnerability immortality, or just like
There's that
if you
too.
live your life. Because then, like, if you can't die, like, no matter what, just undieable, walk through nuclear blast, then you could be a real evil son of a bitch, because who the fuck could stop you then?
Sure, sure. And then again, there's also bad ideas that survive too. So and those ideas fuck people up just as bad as a nuclear blast can. I mean, they can completely scramble your whole fucking frontal cortex and have you fucking thinking that. Oh, I don't want to get too personal, okay? But have you thinking bad thoughts and doing bad things, okay? So, I mean, in my mind, yeah, ideas are, they can stick around. They get stuck in the collective consciousness that is humanity. So, I see myself as part of that whole zeitgeist. Where I see myself as part of a larger spirit of the human spirit trying to propagate itself. Where we
I mean,
go,
yeah, I understand that completely, because like
yeah,
I'm in, like I said, a similar boat where I do feel like the lessons that I was taught by my betters that are no longer here, I now have to spread in some way, shape, or
exactly,
form. And
exactly.
so,
That's
but I also know that I'm only a human, that we and it's not just those guys that had those thoughts. That was lessons that they took from history and they took from. So like
Mm-hmm.
in reality, we're
Mm-hmm.
taking stuff from way back, and we're
Way back. We're going
just,
all the way back.
I guess, like, all right, so everything Marcus Aurelius said or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Like, or some
Yeah.
bullshit to that extent. But
No, you're right.
but but that's, but I'm me still.
True.
It's a weird thing,
Truly.
or I just know that I'm me,
Truly.
and
No one can take it away from you.
me being immortal in a way through the fact that my consciousness, my not the conscious, but my thoughts about certain
Your
things are now
ideas, your
on this
experiences.
podcast are now
Mm-hmm.
essentially just now they're there. You know what I mean? They're now its own thing. So it now exists in its own space. So now I don't know. I don't fucking know.
What does that say about you, Spec? You're
I'm
a
still
multi-dimensional being.
smooth brained about it.
It's complicated. It's a hard thing to. Facing your own mortality is a tough thing. I think it is, but you know, it's something we all got to do. I don't know if
Yeah. I feel
is
like Arthur. I really do.
immortality
I feel
a
like Arthur
solution to
Morgan
the.
at the end of Red Dead. I really do
Do you?
at this point in time. Yeah, I've made
Damn.
that joke before in the podcast, right? I really do feel like I lived a life where I was not the best person that I could be, and then something. I had that moment where I pulled myself out of that fucking thing, and I thought to myself, "Yeah, no, I always procrastinate. This is just death knocking at my door." You know what I mean? Like this really is just, yeah, you're gonna die tomorrow, kid. So it's like, all right, well, fucking if that's or not even tomorrow, but you're gonna die sooner rather than later. So I'm like, okay, so what does that mean for me? And I started this fucking podcast the day after I fucking had that breakdown. Like that to me
Right.
was what made this. If I just knew I was gonna have forever and a half to do it, would I do it? Me? I don't know. I don't know. If I
Hmm.
had a bajillion years to
No, that's
live
fair.
without being fucked up, or you know what I mean, or like I said, or if I'm just some invincible human being that I never have to worry about carrying a gun or a knife or a sword or anything, I would just walk in, fucking do your worst, bitch, and I just flick you on the nose until you got annoyed and killed yourself. Like I don't fucking know. Like, I'd be a real troll about it if you gave me the invincible glitch. But yeah, no, like I like the
I
fact
get.
that I'm gonna die.
I guess it's different for everyone. You know, that's the point. Everyone's got their. I mean, we are solution oriented, and for things like this, the big questions, I guess everyone has their own solutions, which is why, you know, we all have these kind of like different, so many different answers to this question because it's so open ended and it's so unknown. It's such a huge question mark that no matter what you say, there's always one more thing to say about it. You know, like so. Yeah, I don't know if there will ever be a solution to such a big question. Like, you know, would what role our mortality has in the bringing about of our, you know, our desires and things like that. Like, I don't know. That's a hard that's a hard question, man. That is really tough. But again, I think it's different for everybody. And you know, you have your solution, and I guess we talked a little bit about mine. So there's, you know, two very good ideas. I will say that two very different but very
And we're both
useful
trying to do good
ideas.
still, like you said, we both have our hands on the controller and we're playing the same game, or different games really, but we still have their hands on the controller. You know what I mean? We're still
Right.
gonna get to the finish line one way or another. We're still gonna beat that boss, whether it's through, we're using the cheesiest methods possible, or if we're really just going fucking, I'm doing that Dark Soul or the fucking Nuzlocke run or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like you're doing the
Right.
extreme mode, whatever the fuck. But I don't know. Like it's a weird thing, and I also kind of I'm excited. I'm excited to see how our differences bring about the good, because I'm tired of
Yes.
just sitting around and waiting for someone else to come around and do it.
For sure. And I think more people are kind of leaning into some of this more active shit, trying to be more active and trying to activate this community and trying to come together. Like I don't know if it's just because I'm more aware of people trying to do good because I'm trying to do good, but I believe that I'm encountering more people saying, "Hey, let's come together. Hey, let's you know let's try to make this really happen in a different way." And I see more comments in the places that I go, see more people in the places where I talk to people online, just really trying to be more solution oriented. I do see it, and I think that's great. I see more of it, so I want to encourage it. I want to encourage
I
that.
think we're all just fed up, man. I really do. I think we're all just fed up with how the world's been going, and we're just trying to feel like, all right, well, the other way's not gonna fix this. Let's fucking try something else. And it's kind of like we're all having this big awakening, and this is us riding that wave. We're all we're all coming out of the matrix in our own ways. Right now, I feel like
Hmm.
because look at it out there. It's really bad in some places. You know what I mean? And
My
it's like,
God,
what are we
dude,
doing, bro? What are
I
we
just
doing?
heard today. Like, I don't know. This is kind of outside of what we're talking about, but I heard today that there's like all these droughts happening around the world, and climate change is like, sucking water, just rivers drying up, droughts everywhere. Like, and people aren't doing anything. Like, people that we put in place to do things are not doing what they should be doing. And it's just like, dude, get the fuck out of the way. Like, like, get out of the way. Stop running for office. You haven't done a goddamn thing. We need to find someone, we need to do it ourselves. Like, they're not going to do shit. And yeah, we are starting to see the negative effects of empty suits and smiling faces, just nodding, just to get along, going along just to get along type shit. Like, it's not good. And so, yeah, you're right. The struggle is getting worse because there are people standing there who aren't doing anything. It's like, for fuck's sake, get the fuck out of there, asshole. Okay, like, we got work to do. Your ass is just looking for fucking money, but we want to really actually change the fucking world. Like, we really want things to get better, not just talk about getting better. Like you said with your whole little dinner thing, like, stop talking about it. Like, we know the fucking problems, we see them. Like, we actually want to do something about it. And no, a war is not going to fix this, okay? Like, it's going to take real effort and real ideas, not just let's blow it up. I mean, fucking Trump talking about nuking hurricanes. It's like, you idiot, okay? Why the fuck do you think that would work, you moron? Like, a war cannot save this. Like, it can't fix this. This is a situation that cannot be fixed with nuclear bombs, you dumbass. Like, why would you even suggest that? Like,
Hey man, maybe he
no.
just wanted to. Maybe he really liked Pacific Rim.
Good God, no. Like, it's gonna take.
We
You're
gotta
right.
fight the kaiju's. We need to unite. We need to get a gypsy danger. We need to make these
Oh my
robots,
God.
and we gotta build these walls against the kaiju. So we gotta follow us into
Oh
the
my
future,
Lord.
ladies and gentlemen. It's tremendous, tremendous kaiju's, tremendous Jaeger bots. We gotta
Uh,
get through this. We gotta do it. Like
that's a
you
good. That's
know,
a good impression, man. That's a good one.
it's horrible, but still.
I don't know. Like, no.
I gotta, like I said, there's some moments where comedy really does like fucking holy shit, like because
Mm,
I get so fucking frustrated about so much shit, but then someone will make me laugh about something like, okay, it's all right. There's people still have their humanity, like, and it's hard to see at
yes.
work too. Like I work in an institution, so like I fucking see a lot of people that are just set in their ways that just do the same thing over and over again. Like yeah, and you're seeing it more in the world where people are doing this. I'm not seeing it as much because I am not really as connected with social media. And I mean, if I'm on social media, I'm finding memes to fucking send to my friends because that's all I care about doing. And so I don't really get a lot of news, or I don't see a lot of stuff like, I'll follow a couple of like good news type shows, like, they'll like show like some guy rescuing a dog or something, like, I'm like, oh no, gives the serotonin or the fuck in my brain a little bit of a boost. But
Mm.
um yeah, but I'm not seeing, like you said, like maybe you're seeing it more than I am,
I
but
am. I am.
which
I'm
is
seeing
great. I'm
people really
glad
try to get
everyone's
out
getting
there.
the fuck out of it. I'm glad everyone's snapping out of the whole thing of, oh, we gotta wait for some higher power to come and do it. Like, no, 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 fuckers. Like, we're all we got. All right, we're all we fucking got, and killing each other and fucking not listening to one another and trying to fucking do the whole thing of, well, they're on this team. I don't want to fucking do, we're sick of it now. We've heard enough of it, and we're finally like, all right, fucking, we got to figure it out. And I'm glad that at least we're able to add that voice to the fire. We're able to be a part of that wave because
I
it
hope
does
so. I really do
it
hope we
does
are. I
need to
hope
hit.
we're. Oh shit! I just broke something, but that's okay. It's live, people. It's staying in. Oh god. But no, I really do hope we're part of that too. I mean, that's part of doing good. How can we convince more people to step out? I don't know, but hopefully they hearing this. Hopefully they get inspired and kind of look at their own lives and see what influence they have and where they can do good as well. That's the
Right.
hope.
And I think that's a good segue to talk about our winner.
Right. We do have a winner for our what is it? Weekly giveaway for a random uh, gift card. What is the gift card this week? I don't even know. What is it?
$10 PSN gift card.
All right. Cool. So
We're
our
starting off
winner
small because we are
um
not very rich individuals.
hey, that's the thing. If we start getting, popular, if we start getting this whole thing monetized, the giveaways will get bigger and bigger. So keep that in mind, guys. We want to give back, pay it forward and put some positivity into the world. So our first winner, congratulations, Miranda at Claws of the Dead. You are our first winner on Gamers versus the System. So use that PSN to buy a game and give yourself a break from the system.
Right? Or buy some
There's your
DLC
little
or a skin, whatever the hell $10 will get you these days on the internets.
yeah, something good for yourself. Thanks for subscribing. And if you want to win, all you got to do is follow us on Twitter, shoot us an email telling us who you are on Twitter so we can make that connection, and we will send you a code for $10 to something random, something cool. Get get in on this, guys. Seriously,
Yep.
it's a good thing.
We're serious about it, folks. So remember,
Oh, for
that's
sure.
gvs.cast@gmail.com. Our socials are gvs some sort of cast _cast or just GVS cast in one thing. Just look for us. Type in Gamers Versus. Try to make the algorithm see like, oh, these guys are fucking blowing up. Because if we blow up, then everyone profits. So
For
we're
sure.
trying, folks. We're trying to. We're not doing this greedy because the greedy fuckers we're trying to fucking get out, and we're not gonna be hypocrites, and we're definitely gonna practice what we preach, and we're gonna try our hardest to bring everyone out of this fucked up catastrophe that we let the world get into.
Dude,
So
I can't wait till we can start giving away bigger shit. It's gonna be awesome. Like, I really think we want to change people's lives. I think we're trying to
yeah,
change the
and
world.
fucking. Oh, sorry, I keep cutting you off. I think there's a
No, go
delay,
ahead.
but that's all right. We're wrapping this up pretty soon. But no, I mean, just we're really looking forward to being able to like. I mean, I just realized someone brought to my attention, like, oh yeah, if you're going to be giving away money, that's going to be a really complicated issue to get to when the government tries to knock on our door. So we're going to do more so stuff with like, we're going to give out, like I said, we're going to be material goods. Definitely going to be like, we're going to be handing out PS5s, Xboxes, some sort of gamer PC that we're going to, when we get big, expect big shit like that to come down the pipe. And,
For real.
we're really trying
Every
to be
week
serious
too.
about it.
Think about
We're
that.
trying to
Every
benefit
week. That's
people.
wild. Yeah. That's the whole point, is to build the community around positivity and try to bring
Well, hold
more
on.
good
I don't know
into
if
the world.
if we do get that big enough where it's every week. Oh my god, that'd be brilliant. That'd be brilliant. But for right now, big stuff. Hopefully, when it
Dude,
gets
that's the
more
point. What are you talking about?
right.
That's what
But
I mean.
right now, it's we got to start little. Like right now, it's not. We're not there yet, folks.
Yeah.
But we're gonna try to get. We're gonna try to get
Yes.
there. So
Yeah. We will get there. Okay. We will get there. And it'll be thanks to people that are listening right now. So isn't there something else that you wanted to tell people that we have now with the Patreon thing?
Yeah, it's up, but I just want to. We're gonna fine tune it and craft it as the weeks go on. I just want to make something so no one could make it before us, and we have to fucking fight to get our domain in there. You know what I mean? So or
Right.
our fucking whole thing built because I ran into issues like that before with when I started business with Goose. So it's better off that we just get it established now. You don't got to go to it at all yet. I still have to make it all pretty and shit, but it exists now, thank God, and it will exist. And I don't care if it sits empty for years, but we have it. So that's how it is. We have it
Yeah,
now,
but
and
maybe
I'll
take a
work
look
on
at
making
it.
it better
Maybe
and
take a
actually
look at it.
giving you guys. Yeah, yeah, because I want to give you guys a reason to start doing this. So we're gonna have the premium shows. We're gonna have Discords open. We're gonna be able to have more feedback, direct feedback with us versus just sending in emails, and also sending emails too because that's gonna build your engagement and also build the get your ticket submissions for the lottery and stuff. And I mean, we're trying, and we're gonna keep trying. God damn it, until it's either this or we die. So that's how it is, folks. Like I'm not gonna quit. I'm not gonna give up on you
There you
guys,
go.
and I'm not gonna give up on us. And that's the best solution that we got for us. So
There was
thank you
also
guys for
another
listening
shout
for this
out.
week's episode. Cetty, do you got anything to close with? Okay.
Yeah, there was a shout out you were supposed to give to someplace in Europe, wasn't there?
Hey guys, coming at you post podcast. It's Spec and Mabel. Uh, that last part was horrible. The audio just completely got out of sync. I'm sorry about that. We're gonna fix that in later episodes, but until then, just gonna say thank you and I'm sorry. Thank you for putting up with it and sorry I had to deal with it. So anywho, I'm shouting out Belgium. The boys in Brussels or whoever was listening in Brussels, they're blowing up on our map. They got to like the top five, one of the top five spots. So I can't thank you guys enough for that. So our listener or listeners in Brussels, we appreciate you. We're just gonna sign off here and hope you guys have a good rest of your week. Mabel and I are gonna try to piece together this thing as best as we can, and we'll see you next time, guys. We love you.